Nuke it.
Yeah, we might get that.
Come on, man. I don't need Secret Service. I don't need
No,
Secret
we
Service.
They don't. Actually, they use us for a news source. They don't even get mad at what we say. They love it. Gets their dick hard.
If you're gonna say, just at least frame it as an informative. Like, you can't say, I'm gonna.
God, I hope. That'd be cool. Two local stoner scumbags make insulting remarks.
The government can't actually understand that we actually can't do anything operational because we suck that bad. We suck
USA! USA! USA!
Dude,
the government doesn't worry about an organized, well plot out attack against anybody really in this country. Because let's face it, you're right. We don't do that.
1 minute till live.
Un momento.
However, they do fear that lone crazy son of a bitch that has nothing to lose. Because
some of these have
it's really hard to stop that. It's really hard to plan for it. It just comes out of nowhere.
well, yeah, the guy just snaps and he goes crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Shoots up a baseball field full of senators.
Dude, or...
You know how you know that guy wasn't a conservative? The body count was 0.
Oh, that was gonna be a fun one.
That's actually pretty
30 or 25
Conservatives know
seconds.
how to shoot
I
a
have a
rifle.
joke for Melt a Snowflake that I think will be a walk-off.
Nice. You drop the mic on it.
We better be offended.
Walk-off.
Or else.
Oh, you guys will love it. I think friggin' certain... Well...
10
Let's just say my
seconds.
girlfriend
10
doesn't
seconds.
want me to say it to her, so I could say it here on the podcast.
No,
Which she'll probably
I'm-
watch. I did.
I'm gonna be on my phone for a little bit during this
5, 2,
podcast. I gotta look up
1.
dirty jokes.
I set up this demonstration just before you came to show the conditions necessary for corrosion.
Such a nasty one. You know what uranium is, right? It's a thing called nuclear weapons and other things.
This podcast may contain content and humor that most, if not all, will find blatantly offensive and possibly even demeaning. The viewpoints expressed during the podcast are strictly opinion, are merely meant for the sake of entertainment, and in no way expresses our true beliefs. We strongly suggest this be watched by a mature audience only. Viewer discretion is strongly advised.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Not Governed by Reason podcast. Right? Something like that?
Yeah.
I am one of your hosts, Doug They'll Dougal. Ware. And then, as always, I am joined by Joshua. He is back from his cult retreat.
What are you talking about? I'm TV's Fred Durst from the 1990s.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't you know?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Rolling.
You
and
rolling, rolling.
I've come to fill in for Josh because he's having too much fun at the orgies.
The cult orgies?
Yeah. Well, it's Mormon cult orgy, so it's like it's cult. There's a lot of Kool-Aid, a lot of sex, and a lot of Quaaludes. So
that is sexual.
He doesn't remember it.
That is super sexual.
I know. I like it.
Well, tonight we are calling this episode Trust Us. We're professionals. Because we are.
Nope.
Ish. Yish. Anyways, we are joined tonight by our special guests, Brian Vance and Kevin Pollock. Yes.
Yo.
Yes. And then, for the first time behind the wheel, we have Cody Callahan.
Woo.
Yeah.
Yay.
The Shred is behind the wheel tonight and producing for us. It should be sexy.
Yeah.
What do you guys think of I forgot what I was gonna fucking ask.
What you think about what do you guys think about potato salad
Yeah, what do you guys think about potato salad?
and date rape?
What's your favorite kind of potato salad?
I am not a fan of rape or potato salad.
Oh.
Throw them in the same barrel.
But if I am a fan of potato salad, do I have to be a fan of rape?
No.
Okay, good. I'm a very big fan of potato salad. Comes from growing up Mormon, and I just found out on this show that I'm not even a popular Mormon because nobody's inviting me to the sex parties with the Quaaludes and Kool-Aid.
Josh didn't get invited. He got taken.
Yeah, he got straight van napped.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
Threw a bag over his
I don't
head.
want to call it kidnapping because he's not a child. But
Maybe I
Adult
didn't want to go to
napping.
that party.
No.
Hurrah.
There's a lot of sodomy.
But no, like, every Mormon function comes with a lot of potato salad of all different kinds, all homemade. I love potato salad.
you know what potato salad does not work for?
Lubricant?
I was going to say lubricant. It's true. I've tried.
Same levels.
But on that note, what's your favorite type of lubricant?
I've only ever heard of KY. I'm not aware of any other brands.
Limp
Just need to
Bizkit.
walk down the family planning aisle at Walmart, dude.
Yeah, they got shit
They have
everywhere.
variety now.
They got like hot and cold shit that'll numb you out and then set you on fire.
Crazy, why?
It makes you.
Is this stuff like on the internet?
Yeah, you can
That's
find it there
why-
too, but you can find it at your local Walgreens or Walmart or gas station.
Check
or
this out. They even have CBD oil infused.
I've heard that.
Oh, they have
Lubricant.
THC infused lubricant,
Yeah,
not just CBD.
you can get high as fuck.
Yeah.
I need to start getting into this new age.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
never got so high jerking off. But
It's true.
Yeah.
I like Crisco.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Limp Bizkit's Fred Durst says he likes spit.
Mm.
Yeah. It's from all that rapping and such and
Yeah.
dollar
All
bills,
that
y'all.
nookie.
Yeah. Nookies and cookies will do that to you.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Well, fuck! We have got a lot to cover tonight. Shit. These guys are going in hot and blind. No homo. Both hot and blind.
already taken.
Yeah, it should be interesting because you guys get to paper, scissors, rock, and figure your shit out.
I'll be right back.
All right.
1, 2, 3. Oh, we go 1, 2, 3,
Okay.
shoot. 1, 2, 3, shoot. 1, 2, 3, shoot.
Oh my goodness, 2 out of 3. We gotta keep this shit going.
Oh, wait. 1, 2, 3, shoot. Oh, we tie. So we gotta go again.
One more.
One more.
Oh.
Best of 3.
1, 2, 3, shoot.
Oh my god, that
With
was
the comeback.
single-handedly the second greatest comeback I've ever seen. You know what the first
I'm the
was?
worst rock paper
Please say
scissors
it was
player.
the drive. Oh, wait.
No.
Damn.
It was the last Super Bowl when the Patriots came back. They led the game for 0 seconds and they won it. But that was a close second. That was real close. I like it. I'll give you props. You guys are no Tom Brady, but I'd wear your jerseys.
Who the hell is Tom Brady?
The
But Tom
greatest
Brady?
Brady.
person
So,
alive.
I
who
did.
won? You won. Did you pick a topic?
No.
Um,
They got congratulated.
Congratulations.
Should be everything we hate about Tom Brady.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
there's a lot. There should be one.
I could do the whole
segment,
podcast.
Tom Brady sucks balls.
Starting off, most of this is with my jealousy.
How about
I am
we
so
start
jealous of
with
Tom
it's
Brady. I hate
crime
everything
time.
about him.
It's crime time. Dun dun dun.
Crying.
Crime.
Crime.
Let me look at my notes here.
It's got notes.
So we got a ton of different shit under this that we can talk about, and I'll give you an option from there. How about that?
I like
We'll
it.
go. We have 3 prison guards trapped as inmates seize area of Arkansas maximum security prison. Baltimore's nobody kill anybody ceasefire is marred by 2 homicides. Detective leaps into canal to save fleeing suspect who does not know how to swim. Florida teens killed in crash of stolen car after a 100-mile-per-hour cat and mouse chase. New Jersey woman charged with murder after shooting wife in the face. Overheated St. Louis inmates now complain they're too cold after AC installed. And contractors who created CIA torture program will face trial by jury. Any of those strike your fancy?
Several of those strike my fancy. That's just a smorgasbord of fun things to talk
It's a
about.
smorgasbord, right. It was so hard. So hard. So
I'll take the inmates
hard.
one. That one
Which
just
about
sounds
the overheated St. Louis
overheated.
inmates?
Yeah, definitely.
So these guys in St. Louis, they actually had a protest recently because people could hear them calling from the jail cells to the outside that it was so hot. And it was during a major heat wave in St. Louis. And, I mean, they ended up having people protesting outside over the inhumane conditions that the prisoners had to be involved with. So they installed a temporary AC unit in these facilities to keep them from dying. And now they're bitching that it's too cold.
It's chilly.
Now, a lot of these guys are in there for some shit.
Oh yeah,
They're prisoners. I mean, and you know when I
remember the prison in question. I mean, it's not exactly like it's not going to be like Wyoming State Pen where it's just a bunch of people that maybe were a bunch of meth addicts filling that prison. No, it's going to be like murderers rapists,
also,
gang members, and I don't know how much sympathy I had for him on the heat in the first place, because I mean, under the arguments they're saying it's inhumane conditions that these people have to live in a building that has no AC. But human beings have only had AC for like, 70 years at most. Is how long human beings have had the luxury of AC.
But buildings were built different back then.
Producer Shred, when was AC invented?
Let's figure it out.
You can't Google
So
it.
everybody prior to the last 70 years has been living in inhumane conditions.
Inhumane.
Well,
Because it just gets really hot indoors.
Buildings are made
Right.
different. I was just saying buildings were made different before and after AC.
It was 1902.
1902.
Okay, so more than 100 years, but
Right.
still a very short period of time in comparison to how long humans have been around and living in those areas.
Right.
I mean, I don't know exactly when this prison was built, but how many people were dying in the prison?
I don't know. I don't think anybody were dying in that actual prison, but in Texas every year you hear about inmates dying from heat conditions there. And I mean, is it our obligation to keep these people comfortable? But I don't think that's the thing. We shouldn't keep them comfortable, but is it our obligation to keep them alive?
It's definitely our obligation to keep people alive, and if it's that big of a condition and concern, find some ways to cool the building down a bit, however you need to.
Mm-hmm.
Or give them like 2 bags of ice with lunch or something.
Make sure
Something.
people are drinking their water. I mean,
At least a tent. At least make
Oh,
the tent.
that'd be a great, scared straight, billboard. Jail. There's no AC here. And then have a fucking thermometer that says the temperature,
Like,
4 degrees.
Yeah.
Do you guys remember
But,
the whole in Phoenix or whatever? They had that whole tent city.
The tent city from
Yeah.
Joe
And
Arpaio.
They said temperatures in the
I got
tents would
it.
easily get to like 120.
and nobody was dying in that tent
I mean,
city.
they were complaining. Well, there's some. They said there were some cases. Or
I think there were
whatever,
cases
but-
of heat stroke, but they just took them inside, got some ice on them, and then gave them some water and put them right back out in their tent. I mean,
Get your pink jumpers on. Get to work. Joe Arpaio.
I've heard another way that they handled the heat stroke is those ice rods that they stick up your ass.
Mm-hmm.
Could they just keep those there?
oh, I bet they had them on
do melt.
hand.
They could have like a giant freezer that they stick all those in and just let the inmates roast. Use all the power that could be for the AC for the freezer, because it's got to be a big freezer.
But it wouldn't have to be as much energy, as AC-ing the place up.
right.
So, nobody's going to die. And that's most important. I mean, I don't say you need to go out of your way to make some place uncomfortable for inmates. That's not the purpose of the place. But that's a far cry from saying we're going to spend, $100 million to make a bunch of inmates comfortable while they stay there. That's going out of your way to make them comfortable at taxpayer expense. I don't know, maybe.
And was this at a jail or a prison? Because there's a difference. Because
I believe it's in a prison.
If it was a prison, then it's, long-term sentences for the most part. Jail is the people, waiting trial, stuff like that.
Yeah, I do think jail should be a little bit more humane than a prison. Most of the people there are there only because they couldn't afford bond because of the way the bond system is.
In Wisconsin about, people being left to die in, jail cells and stuff like that? Crickets.
I didn't hear about that.
And where?
It was in Wisconsin. I don't know.
Sounds
The only reason I knew
familiar.
about it was because it was somehow connected to Trump.
Well, everything's connected to
Everything is
Trump.
connected to
Everything's
Trump.
connected to Trump.
Everything.
It's like, you remember, was that game 6 Degrees to Kevin Bacon or whatever? It's like
Yeah.
how everything's connected to Trump.
And it's not even 6 ways to get to Donald Trump. No, they're like a penguin took a crap in the Antarctic and Trump
watched.
didn't comment
It was a
anything
jail.
on it.
To clarify, it was a jail.
That's even worse.
A 50-year-old jail,
50-year-old jail.
So built in the 60s.
which can house as many as 1,100 inmates.
It's a pretty big jail.
But right now, it holds about 750.
So it's under capacity.
98% of whom have not yet been convicted and are awaiting trial.
So it makes me feel a little bit differently. I mean, prisons are prisons. You're going to be there long term. You need to get used to wherever you're at. But jail, I mean, we don't know how many of those people are even guilty. I don't like the idea that, again, I don't like the idea that we put so many people in jail. Like, everybody's a flight risk. Every single person in the country is a flight risk, and you have to go to jail unless you want to pay money to get out. And I don't remember seeing
And how many
anywhere
people
in
can
the
afford that?
Constitution that said, you have the right to due process, but we can lock you up and take away your rights until you give us money.
So what do you think of this Baltimore ceasefire?
Oh, that was... how many shootings were there? I mean, I know that 2 people died, which is, I would say, it's actually really good for Chicago on a weekend.
For Baltimore.
Oh, Baltimore?
Baltimore.
How many people die a weekend in Baltimore?
How many people die a weekend in Baltimore?
By shooting. You
By
have to
shooting.
defy.
Or are murdered?
I mean, I know that's risen quite a bit in the last 2 years.
Well, Baltimore's a fucked up little city, man. Not a little city, but it's a fucked
Hey,
up
I
place,
saw The
man.
Wire.
Yeah.
Was that in Baltimore?
That was in Baltimore.
Nice. It was probably filmed in L.A. because they
Yeah.
didn't feel safe being in Baltimore.
Right?
But I think
it was actually filmed in Baltimore.
it's terrible that you even have to have a day where you're saying, please nobody shoot
Where they're having
anybody.
to call for a ceasefire.
Come on, everybody, just don't kill somebody for a day.
I
Let's see if
do-
we could. We got high hopes here.
I do commend that they were able to call for this ceasefire by the higher-ups, but it just proves that not everybody's going to be on board. A lot of the blood that gets shed is shed on revenge, not just turf terms and drug terms. It's shed on revenge, too. Motherfucker killed a friend, motherfucker killed a family member,
Motherfucker cut in line.
Yeah,
Motherfucker's
cut
been
in
telling
line.
everybody he's coming for me. I'm gonna get him first.
But it just proves you cannot. It's not a promising thing. People are just fucking bloodthirsty.
I mean, if you
for
want
each
to,
other.
if you want to fix this problem, violence is definitely a root of a much larger problem going on in most of these areas in these cities. But if you want to fix it, you got to kill this symptom of the endless violence right now. Nothing's going to get fixed as long as people are shooting each other. So you need to deploy some guard out in these cities and have them patrol the high crime areas along with the police,
Well,
no, don't give them arresting
It
ability.
worked really well in the
they
60s.
did. Well, even in recent years, they've had a lot
Like-
of trouble with the Baltimore police force planting shit very openly.
Yeah, there was like
Planting
200
shit on
there was like
people.
200 cases dismissed because it was found out on body
yeah.
camera footage that they planted evidence.
Yeah.
Most of them
Possibly
were drug
more of a
cases.
good
Yeah.
reason to bring in the guard, because it's not the Baltimore fucking police. And apparently, they're not very good at their damn jobs.
No, they're not.
That's why we need
They
Batman.
killed Freddie
No,
Gray.
but
Was it Freddie Gray?
oh, there's too
Was
many.
Was that the Baltimore one?
I think it was Gray was the guy's name. I don't know if that was right on the first name.
I think it
I
was
don't-
Freddie Gray.
But that's the thing though, is like you have you show up with militarized police force or even the National Guard, it just escalates everything.
Yeah.
I
They
mean,
pull out those fucking giant sonic cannons.
well,
I kind of disagree that. I would say maybe yes if we were in Afghanistan, but Chicago, they're going to see a bunch of armed soldiers patrolling the streets, and everybody's going to shut everything down for a bit.
well,
Nobody wants to go out and engage military troops in the streets. Is not going to escalate up to that, and they're not going to want to go putting shootings out when there's people around everywhere.
it got kind of blown under the radar this weekend. It had a low release, but there's a movie called Detroit that came out. Has John Boyega in it, guy that's in
Star Wars.
Star Wars. Yeah, he's Finn in Star Wars. But it's based around what happened in Detroit in 1967, where they deployed the National Guard. I mean, there was like literally like shit going down like every single like hour during that point in back in history.
Right.
And it happened in Chicago. It happened in Baltimore back in the day too.
Right.
I mean, they had fucking snipers on the fucking rooftops and shit back in the day. And I mean, it all started when they started bringing in the big guns. I mean, yeah, it sucks with all this violence in Chicago and in Baltimore. The main problem with it, and I always hear this argument too, is like, oh, it's because aren't those areas supposed to have like, restrictions on guns? Well, yeah, but what about the states next to them don't? Like
Restrictions on guns.
But the problem with that argument is always, how far do we have the authority to expand gun control? I mean, we banned guns in the entire country. We still got Mexico right to the south of us,
Yeah.
and we still got South America. I mean, you're never going to get rid of the guns. And
you're never gonna get rid of them.
Furthermore, banning guns right now, saying a full-out ban. You cannot manufacture or
Well,
sell
I'm not
guns.
saying the full out.
There's still
ban.
350 million already
I
here
mean,
exempt
right.
from any laws that are passed.
But these areas that have a lot of violence have some strict gun laws.
Oh, very
and it
strict.
just proves that doesn't fucking.
Well, it
really
doesn't
help.
work because the neighboring states
Yeah.
don't.
Not just
well,
the
not
neighboring
only
states,
that,
but
like, so-
it disarms the populace at hand. So
Like
when,
the biggest analogy that I could bring up. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No.
So, biggest analogy is so here in Colorado, right? Fireworks are illegal. Anything that leaves the ground is technically illegal, right? But every year we see people shooting off mortars and and bottle rockets, and it's because
we smuggle them.
we smuggle them in from fucking Wyoming.
well, and it's completely unenforced. I mean, literally completely unenforced.
Right.
Every year the cops come because of the fireworks, and they say, "Okay, so between this hour and this hour, I promise you, we're not doing anything. So
I mean,
do
this
it
was
between
over-
these hours."
This was over
And you're
a
like,
decade ago, but I was.
Thank you.
Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt.
And
Go
it's, it's if you have no will, so like it's not just that the fireworks are on the other side of the border, and it's not coincidence that they have a fireworks stand on the border of every county that does not allow fireworks.
Yeah.
That's just the way that's always going to be.
Well, it's just
No matter
like-
how much you try to say, you can try to ban fireworks, but right at the edge of where the enforcement is at is where there's going to be a shit ton of fireworks stands.
Same as booze.
Yeah.
Counties that ban
You can't
booze,
prohibit
like-
what people want. It doesn't work. And the more you try, the more
Well-
crime is created out of, as a repercussion of doing
Right.
so.
I mean, we see case example of that with prohibition
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
anything.
Anything.
But when you have a neighborhood where, I mean, the average person in that area cannot afford to do all the requirements, classes, permits, these cities do that, they don't ban the guns because of course the rich people there want to keep their guns. So they just price it out of these high poverty crime neighborhoods. These people can't afford the guns to protect their, and most of them are law abiding. Very few of them aren't, but those are the ones that have all the guns in the entire neighborhood. So they're fighting each other, and the people around are defenseless to do anything about it. Police don't stop crime; they respond to it. And as long as that violence is going on in these communities, you're never going to have investment in those communities. The communities cannot prosper. Nobody's interested in family life if they think somebody's going to shoot them down the street, tomorrow.
Right.
So everything these neighborhoods need to start fixing the root of the problem, which is fixing families, improving the economic environment,
give them opportunity,
education. So kids can't study if they're worried about getting shot at school, or stabbed at school, or beat up at school, or whether or not they're going to be forced into a gang today. You can't. It doesn't help. So
it doesn't.
No. So you got to. The only answer is first you've got to stop the violence before any of that other stuff can start to being addressed.
Just one of those days.
Well, yeah. So how do you address the stopping the violence, though? I mean, I'm just saying we've seen with history that if you roll in with the National Guard, I mean, we even saw this more recently with like Hurricane Katrina. Like they rolled in the National Guard, and a lot of people were killed with the violence that escalated just because I mean all that stuff was going down, like all the looting and shit. Well, also it took 3 days. 3 days after it made landfall. Oh wait, it made landfall and nothing happened. Hey, why is all that water there? Oh, that's what happens when you build a city under sea level.
And then they herd everybody into a fucking stadium. That got flooded.
And what's funny is it's only going to get worse.
Yeah, well, Katrina did show the country's inability to really respond quickly to a crisis.
But is it the willingness to respond?
I don't think it was willingness. I mean, I really think it's they don't have the ability to respond. It's everybody has it in their head that government's competent for some stupid reason. In the back of everybody's mind is that the government has a plan for almost any circumstance. The government doesn't have plans for shit.
Right.
And they execute the plans they do have like shit.
Right.
So, Kevin.
Yo.
Last year, it looks like 318 homicides in Baltimore. It looks like they're at 210 so far this year.
Oh, wow. They're going to beat last year. Fuck.
Do you have any solutions off the top of your head?
Not off the top of my head. Not off the top of my head, man.
Good question.
They got, like I said, dude, they got fucking people way smarter than me, and I mean, fuck, I'm just a teacher, man. I just stay in my little corner, and basically, I would just.
I say burn it down.
Just
fucking burn it down.
I have an idea.
Yeah.
You know that Pepsi commercial?
Which one?
Where Kylie Jenner gives the Pepsi?
Yeah.
I'm going to go to Baltimore with a bunch of Limp Bizkit CDs. I'm going to start handing them out. She's just going to get calmed down. And it's going to get off the chain.
Because everybody's just going to keep rolling.
What? Rolling.
It was a simpler time back then.
I know. I miss those days when I was popular. People cared about me.
God, I just miss the 90s. Just seems to me like the last 15 years has kind of really sucked.
It's been bullshit.
Like
basically since 9/11.
Yeah, right about since then.
That's really weird.
People lost their collective goddamn minds, and I don't know when the hell they're going to get them back.
Never. It's not going to happen.
That is the root of most of my problems.
What, 9/11?
9/11?
Yeah.
Where were you?
Look at these photographs. You know, I'm never going to forget Matt's birthday.
Because 9/11?
Yep. Never forget.
No. You know what was considered torture by the UN?
Huh.
Being in a locked room with no escape listening to Nickelback.
I could see that.
Yeah, I believe that.
100%.
No. Like
the whole discography. They got all the CDs and you can pop it in and out.
Hit random.
What's your favorite Nickelback song? Everybody's got one. What's that one you sing? Like, you know the words to.
Like, there was
like
a
the
song
karaoke one?
They talked about, like, doing acid.
Which one was that?
I think it's like 1,000,000 miles an hour. I think.
Huh. I'm going to have to re-listen to that one.
Now, to be fair, I did make fun of Nickelback. To be fair, I have been to a Nickelback concert.
Whoa!
It's been a while ago.
Who'd they come with?
So yes, I'm.
I don't know. I think that's something you got to go to your priest with. It's,
Yeah,
Yes.
you get that's a confessional type shit.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to do a million Hail Marys.
I have to get that confession off my chest just in case the world ends tonight.
So
Yeah.
how about the CIA contractor lawsuit? So these two psychologists that were paid over $80 million to help develop the CIA's torture program under the Bush administration are being sued by 3 of the former detainees. The plaintiffs are suing under the Alien Tort Statute, accusing Mitchell and Jessen of committing of torture, cruel, inhumane, and degrading. Sorry, I'm verbal dyslexic today. Treatment, non-consensual human experimentation, and war crimes. All 3 plaintiffs were kidnapped by the CIA and tortured and experimented upon, according to Mitchell and Jessen's protocols.
That sounds hot.
They're being backed by the ACLU. One of the men died as a result of the torture. The other 2 continue to suffer the effects of the physical and psychological torture inflicted on them.
You actually list what they did to him?
Touch him inappropriately.
Under the program, the 3 detainees were subjected to physical assaults and sleep deprivation, forced to stand for days in diapers with their arms chained overhead, doused with ice water, and stuffed into boxes.
That sounds awesome.
I'm not that moved by that list of torture. I want to hear something more if they want millions of dollars.
I thought it was gonna be like
Every parent's
balls.
been sleep deprived, and
Yeah.
they don't lose that. I hear for like 5 years. My parents were bitching about it forever. So it probably leaves some lasting trauma, but no more than any average parents with newborns. So I'm not worried about how sleep deprived they got. Cold water. I used to jump in cold water all the time as a kid.
refreshing.
The waterboarding, that sounds pretty horrific, though. I mean, but I think they only did that like 2 people. Are they alleging waterboarding at all?
Yeah, oh yeah. Waterboarding is one of the things that they mentioned in there.
What about the stuff that they did with their food? Like they were went on a hunger strike, I heard. And what they did is
They would force feed them.
Well, not even that. They would literally puree their food and shove it up their ass.
Why do you
Say
whisper
that's
that?
Well, shove it up their ass. Yeah. Sorry, is
Who doesn't eat like that?
I mean, but I couldn't
I
see
like
that.
that
I would
twice.
see that more as like, I mean, would the doctors were prescribing shoving food up the ass, or is this something the guards were doing as being dicks? Because I mean, the guards would need to be charged for something like that.
That was
That's
one of the
kind of fucked up.
assumed torture methods that I read
Yeah.
about.
I mean, these
There's
guys.
that's
been
confirmed?
multiple sources. Yeah.
Yeah. They did all sorts of fucked up
I mean,
shit.
I could understand the tube feeding. They'll do that to you in a prison. Like you want to go on a hunger strike, they'll let you go as long as you want to go, and then they take you into the medic and they put a tube into you and they feed you. Like
So we don't.
they don't let you starve to death on a hunger strike, but they also don't give in to your demands from people saying I'm not going to eat.
Sorry, I'm reading.
I'm trying to.
I just can't get over the thought of putting mashed foods up my ass.
I mean, if you do it, I've heard that you poop out your mouth.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. Like I want to do
I
some.
saw
mac
this
and
on a
cheese.
documentary once,
Ah.
and it's
Now,
true. It's
some
100%
might call
true.
it torture. Others might call it enhanced interrogation techniques.
IIT.
EIT.
EIT. Eat.
Ite.
Ite. That's funny. Fred Durst doesn't know how to
Can
spell.
you eat via your...
I mean, if it is torture, it's torture light.
Diet torture.
Yeah, it's diet torture.
Anal
It's not. It doesn't quite taste like the real thing, but it kind of resembles a soda.
So they just call it that. It makes a lot of sense. Where's the imagination?
I don't know.
Romans had imagination. When
What?
they
How
tortured
would you
people.
torture somebody?
Man.
So I I just read that
That's a tough question.
the only nutrients, you can't really get nutrients from enemas. Really, it's just for hydration. So, yeah, I'm not too sure why they were doing the
Food up the
whole
ass.
food enema.
Just
for those guys.
probably
I
to
don't
be a
think it was
dick.
for
Yeah.
nutritional. Yeah, I don't think it was nutritional.
It's the same reason kids stick their balls in other kids' face is for like teabagging and shit. They don't know why. They just did it to be dicks. What'd you do? What'd you ruin?
Everything.
Everything's fucked.
It's broke.
But
it's broke.
so
It's broke.
my torture is I'd lock a person in a room. It'd be a big room, and it would have everything they need, except for, in the next room, a locked case of the brand new Limp Bizkit CD that they can't get their hands on.
And it's got to be through a window that
Yeah,
they
they
can see it.
look at it like it's there,
Yeah,
but they
but they
can't get
can't
to
touch
it.
Like
it.
that Wu-Tang album that only like one was made.
No, there were a bunch. The week it came out, it went into Best Buy's $5 bin. It's called Golden Cobra. Check it out, yo.
I mean, it all depends on what the torture purpose is for. Is this like, I need information from you, I'm going to torture you? Or is this, you did me so wrong I lost my mind, and now I'm going to torture you? That's two different levels of torture there.
Well, let me put it to you like this. So let's just say, can you hear me all right?
Yeah, you're good.
Let's just say they raped a family member of yours and they know the cure to AIDS, which you have now.
Oh my god.
Oh. Okay, so it's information.
But you can also have revenge on that too.
First thing I'd do is I'd come in and I'd sew their mouth shut. And then, because you don't want to listen to what the person has to say yet. He's not ready to talk. And then you simply tell them that eventually, when I'm done, I'm going to leave you deaf, blind, and dumb. And you're going to spend the rest of your life in an empty void. And they will keep you alive when they find you. Or you're going to tell me what I want to know.
So you're going to turn him into Helen Keller?
Yeah, basically.
That's rough. Damn.
Need to cut off his fingers so he can't do sign language too?
That would be necessary.
Yeah, like one or two.
Right, so it'd fuck it up. People think.
Of course, yeah. I don't know how they would.
Signs.
I don't know how they would teach him sign
And the
language,
middle
seeing as how he would be blind.
Right, couldn't read Braille.
That would be. But of course, learning
Couldn't be
anything, he's going to have to learn a tap method before anything else, because that's the only way anybody's going to be able to teach him anything.
Why did Helen Keller's dog kill itself? You'd kill yourself too if your name was. Oh, I'm so lucky I get
This
away
must
with
be
this.
where she burned herself. The waffle iron.
I don't know. I read a lot of fantasy books, and in them, like, the enemies are always torturing each other. So you
You've
read
gotten
creative
this down,
things.
yeah.
You read some creative stuff in those books.
Yeah.
And I read a lot of history.
Yeah, there was a lot of torture in history.
Tons of torture in history. Each culture had their own special methods.
I would first start.
Spanish Inquisition, bro.
Well, I would first start by making them watch Pauly Shore movies in Spanish.
But not Biodome?
Not Biodome, and they'd be in Spanish.
Jury Duty.
Or
Yeah, it'd be
Son-in-Law.
Jury Duty. For sure, they'd have to watch that.
See, and people thought I was a
And-
monster
Yeah.
until they started hearing this shit.
Yeah, I mean,
Next
Pauly
level.
Shore
That's pretty sick.
in Spanish.
Any recent Adam Sandler movie?
No, just Pauly Shore. Yeah.
And Jack and Jill.
Grown-ups.
You gotta throw Jack and
Wait,
Jill.
did they make these terrorists watch any recent Adam Sandler films?
Oh,
I don't know.
Netflix released
Because
I would
that-
consider that inhumane.
I would need to know that before I give these guys millions of dollars. I mean, that's where I draw the line. That's just, no.
I think they should not allow him to make films. And Netflix is fucking enabling.
Who's gonna stop him? We gotta stop him. Let's make it our personal
Hashtag
mission.
stop Adam Sandler.
I like it. Somebody needs to do it.
I'm gonna have to find like some study method of practicing how to do hashtag. I thought I was getting good at, that's what he said, until like that was no longer the thing, and now it's hashtag something.
Yeah, I still don't completely understand how hashtags work.
I don't get them either.
But
I don't get memes. Some memes I get.
Hashtags have a different method to them. They create a thread. So it allows anybody else who has that hashtag to pull a common thread. So when you click on it, it shows everybody who posted something using that hashtag.
Okay.
Oh,
I knew there was
that.
a reason I
It's
wasn't going to
threading.
ever get
that's
Twitter.
how Twitter uses it. I was
So
talking
all
about
of them use
millennials.
Oh.
Yeah.
Millennials just use it because they're fucking stupid.
Hashtag wedding.
Hashtag LMFAO.
Hashtag OMG.
Do we need to tag
Yeah.
the show in hashtag?
Hashtag I
Yeah.
wanted a
Teenagers.
Land Rover, but they got me a Range Rover instead.
Hashtag kill my family.
Hashtag fuck my life.
I'm pretty sure I hate teenagers.
Hashtag teen mom.
I absolutely hate them. They'll be all right when they get 25 again and they,
Hashtag.
they
Hashtag.
say something worth saying. But, God, teenagers suck so bad.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I sucked as bad as they did.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I don't
Pretty sure I
understand
did,
people who
but-
speak in emoticons.
Yeah,
like,
what the fuck
like
is
poop
with that shit?
emoji.
Yeah, like what does this mean? I don't know what that means.
Well, I think that means an
Butt
awkward
sex,
evening. Yeah.
sweating.
It's like butt rape. Is that what that means? Because the face is kind of freaking out.
What it is. It's
And then two crying faces, but like
Sweating.
uncomfortably
it's
sweating.
crying or sweating.
I think it's sweating.
I think it's sweating.
Sodomy.
That is so terrible.
Yeah. Yeah, that's an actual emoji sentence we got.
Now, do you have to, like, buy these different emojis, or
No,
is this, like,
well,
come...
for free.
There is like a non-profit that establishes them, I think. I think that's like it's a particular group who decides like which things become emojis. And then they have people who are professional emoji translators.
There's a goddamn emoji movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's awful too, I've heard. It was
Yeah.
the first movie to ever get a 0% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, I didn't see how they were gonna make a movie out of that, but they made Pixels, so...
You know, they just stole other storylines. And anyways, we should pick another topic.
Yeah.
And
Fucking
it's your
A.
turn to pick.
It is your
Go
turn
in.
to pick, sir.
42 minutes on topic.
Migrant violence.
Yeah.
Migrant violence. We really have nothing to talk about with it other than to show videos
Yay!
of a brawl in Moscow between a bunch of migrant construction workers where they all went at each other with sledgehammers and shovels, and then one between some migrants in Naples, Italy, and some soldiers going
Damn.
at it. And
Sounds like a 1920s union fight.
it's interesting.
We got some Limp Bizkit to play behind it.
No, we got a shitty band called Other People's Children doing some
Fuck!
live song.
Fuck those guys.
Some live song.
Especially their singer. He's a cunt.
Yeah.
Every time you show your grin, when the demons are aware, then only talking with the God. For masterpiece, for mastermind, persona,
bar, you drink about it and talk strategy, and then you come back.
So migrants are getting violent. What do you think?
I was not impressed by the violence, but that band did remind me of a band by the name of Limp Bizkit.
Oh shit.
Kinda. That lead singer, he's like New Age Fred Durst, I think.
I think that's what he was trying for.
You know what? I can tell. He shaved his
influence.
head.
Huge influence.
And
So
he
you
had
said
that
these were
fucking-
migrant workers
Yeah, migrants.
in Moscow.
In Moscow.
Maybe they should build a wall. Oh wait. Oh.
I don't. Maybe.
That's a big wall.
China built one.
I thought that's why Russia had like that whole cold spot before you like got to their cities.
Gulag.
You know, you can't, you know, no army can conquer in because the winter will kill you.
That's a great plan for avoiding things. Like a giant pit with
Protected them.
spikes.
It's protected them for a long time. I don't know if it would work today though.
You'd have to use sharks with laser beams on their heads.
That's the only
Make
way
them
to truly
swim around the
win.
border.
Futurama episode where
Yeah.
Fry and it's that Futurama episode where Fry and Bender steal the ship, and they get dragged. They drag something with the tether, and it hits the Great Wall of China, and all of a sudden the Mongolians jump over. Mongolian! Damn Mongolians!
Stupid fucking Mongolians!
Now you're my Shiwa.
It's probably
So
one
we
of
got
my favorites.
we got Futurama and South Park. Nice.
You mean documentaries?
Documentaries.
Documentaries.
Come
South
on, guys,
Park
you
is
know-
a documentary
you
about
know
a little
any-
town in the mountains of Colorado.
Come on, you know Idiocracy is now considered a documentary, right?
Yeah.
Browno does water good or does plants good? It's
Yep.
what plants crave.
It is what plants crave.
It's
Terry-
what plants crave.
Terry Crews is awesome.
You know
the
what
best part.
would have made that movie better? If Fred Durst was in it.
He was. Fred Durst is in every single movie, whether you see him or not.
Yeah.
His spirit is there.
I
you get-
remember when Fred Durst was cool.
Yeah, right?
Like, yes,
Fred
I-
Durst remembers that. Fred Durst also remembers a movie that he directed
Oh,
and
I
starred
know.
in. And by starred in, it was a very small part, but...
Polly
That's
Shore is
what's up.
dead.
Oh my god, he was in that, wasn't he?
Yeah.
No, he was in another movie called Play Dead, where I was the town simpleton, and I murder people like Power Rangers.
You should look up the movie Vanilla Ice was in.
Which ones?
He was in a few.
Oh,
Yeah. He's been in...
which one? Like he was like the main lead, like, and it was like his character, but like he was the lead.
He's in That's My Boy.
Boys Don't Cry.
Boys Don't Cry. Hillary Swank.
No, that's Big Girls
I know
Don't
they had
Cry.
Ninja Rap and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles,
Right?
Yeah,
which they rebooted.
his greatest song ever.
Go Ninja.
Go Ninja Go.
Go
Ninja Go Ninja.
I love Ninja Turtles.
You know Vanilla Ice has made more money off his DIY show than he's ever made in music.
I believe it.
Well, yeah,
It's
every
called
time
Fines.
every time they play his song, he owes money.
Yeah.
Right?
It's probably true.
Well, he stole the main part from Under Pressure.
Yeah. Got
That's
sued.
allegedly.
Yeah. Oh, he won that in court. So he lost in court on that.
Did he?
Yep.
Yeah, he lost a ton of money. It basically bankrupted him to do that
Dude,
song.
I remember a couple of years ago, you could have saw Vanilla Ice at the Aggie. Wasn't
Rob
that
Van
one-
Winkle, man.
Yeah.
That's his name. Oh yeah,
Yep.
that's his name.
I would've
Yeah,
gone.
we're giant Vanilla Ice
Well,
fans.
he's
I
on the
would've-
Dan Patrick Show a couple of weeks ago. I think you can get his interview off their website. If
What are you looking up? You
Go
got a
ahead.
bunch of You got a list of movies over there.
Friggin' resource over here.
Yeah, I just got some movies that Vanilla Ice is in. Cool as Ice.
Yeah, that was it. Cool as Ice.
Yeah.
91. Yeah,
No.
I remember I was a kid.
Do you guys remember him in The New Guy?
Yeah, you did a great job. He was at the record store.
Yeah, that's always fighting with him.
Yeah.
That's
City
pretty funny.
sucks. Just like
Yeah.
What
arm
else you
drops
got?
that dude. I liked him
What else you
picking
got?
on what's the that little black guy's name, Gary Coleman.
Gary Coleman.
He was in like a reality show with him, and like he like left
Beetlejuice?
the show because he would pick on him like mercilessly in that
That's
show.
fucking great.
Rest in peace,
He'd get all
Gary
drunk and he'd be like, "Come on, say it. Come on, say it." He just like pissed him
Gary
off.
Coleman was like,
Gary Coleman.
yeah, he died like 10 years ago.
Yeah, his
Yeah.
wife pushed him down the stairs.
Oh shit.
Yeah, that's how he died.
I thought he died of a heart attack.
What you got?
Vanilla Ice was in Big Money Hustlers, apparently, the ICP movie.
Oh yeah, actually,
Yeah, he used to be on Psychopathic.
I seen that, and he is in that movie.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
I've not seen that movie.
He is a
Yeah.
juggalo.
Ice Baby.
Ice juggalo.
I did like an ICP song once, so
yeah, back in the '90s,
Yeah.
right?
yeah, Milenko was an alright
Yeah.
album. Forgotten
Yeah.
Freshness.
It was aight.
Yeah. Kind of will love.
Yeah.
Love them Disney
I
clowns.
don't know if this is true or not, but I heard that ICP, like their posse or whatever, like their juggalos or whatever that follow them. I heard the FBI follows them as a terrorist organization.
Yeah, they tried to sue him.
They actually do have a gang that calls themselves Juggalos. I don't think they're directly affiliated with ICP other than they're a bunch of Juggalos that run around being gangbangers.
Yeah.
Thank you for clearing that up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Disney wouldn't allow it for long.
No, not for long.
Not at all.
What do you think about that Juggalo F. Kennedy?
Honk honk. Whoop whoop.
F. Kennedy.
Yeah, look at that picture right there on the wall. He's Shaggy 2 Kennedy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you have the creepy Hillary mask.
And then
Where did Bush go?
he fell. He
Bush
fell
fell.
deep. It was an inside job.
Jet fuel can't melt steel beams.
I really need to see a Guar show here soon because they always usually like cut up some person that's famous on TV right now. And so there's a great chance that every show you're going to see Donald Trump getting like cut up in some crazy fashion.
Like repeat of Kathy Griffin.
Right.
Yeah, but see with Guar,
don't
they
give
just
a
do it with everybody.
Right.
So like that they did it with Obama, they did it with Hillary, they did it with everybody.
If you go on YouTube, if you go to the AV Club, their newest video that they did for them, it ends with Hillary and Trump disemboweling each other. And like getting all bloody and pulling their guts out and like ripping their eyeballs out and shit. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I need a good Guar show.
Yeah.
Doesn't look
I've
like
seen
they're
Guar
coming
with you.
anytime soon.
It's
Yeah.
like by
they
far
came
the
to Toronto.
best
It's
not the
show.
same.
Oh, I
Yeah, no,
thought
that
at the
Brock,
summit when
yeah.
I thought he did a great. The new lead singer was awesome. That was the best blood show I've
It's like
seen in
seeing
Guar in
Journey
years.
without Steve Perry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, guys, you might be too young for that.
No,
He's an original member of Guar. I
What are you looking at?
think he might be the last one left.
We-
Who, Balzac?
No. Balzac even wasn't amongst the original, the original founding members. For the longest time, it was just Odorous, but this guy, the new lead singer, and I can't remember his character's name or his real name, but he was one of the original members of Guar. And he does a really good job with the singing. Like his costume, I think, is a little bit lame compared to Odorous's, but
it was Odorous.
But that's Odorous. But I
It
still
evolved over time.
And the blood, the show didn't go down very much. I mean, I had a great time when they played the Summit Music Hall. It was badass.
Sounds pretty great.
I really need to go see Guar.
Shall we move on?
Yep,
Yeah.
my turn to
You
pick
get
a
to
topic.
pick.
Hashtag Guar.
Let's talk about the sexy type thing. I like where it's going.
Sex type thing.
It's not sexy type
Sexy?
thing? I don't
That's
know.
sex type thing?
That's a Stone Temple Pilots reference. So
I
we
didn't
have a couple
listen to
different
grunge.
things with it. We have the sexual misadventure, where a man is sentenced to 10 years in jail for shooting woman in the vagina.
I like that one. Let's start with it.
And then we have helicopter police accused of filming couple having sex. Get off.
I want to talk about the vagina
You
shooting.
want to talk about the vagina shooting?
Yeah.
Let me pull it up.
Vagina shooting.
So- Yeah.
So,
I've heard
a British man has been sentenced to 10 years in jail after inserting a loaded antique shotgun into the vagina of a sexual partner and causing life-changing injuries after the gun accidentally went off. David Andrew Jeffers, 47, and the woman 46, known only as Jay, in the Manchester Minshall Street Crown Court proceedings, were engaged in sexual activity in a room at a hotel in the early hours of January 31st. The weapon used to carry out what Jeffers alleged was the woman's sexual fantasy was described as an antique shotgun, roughly the size of a small pistol, used to kill vermin. While he was gun-fucking her...
Hashtag gun fucking?
Yeah.
The gun went off, causing horrendous injuries, in which he survived. He was initially charged with attempted murder and causing grievous bodily harm, but these charges were dropped as there was no sufficient evidence that he was attempting to kill her. He was just trying to gun fuck her.
Yeah, just get her off. But I got a hashtag. It's hashtag I shoot early too. Hashtag it happens.
Careful, sweetie. If you do it the right way, it'll go off early.
Hashtag pull out.
First of all,
is that what it is? You pull out and
never go in with a loaded gun.
Yeah, what the fuck? How crazy is that fetish getting? Was she like, it has to have bullets?
Maybe her vagina looked like a vermin.
I disagree with the 10-year sentence because this man is obviously helping the world by being as dumb as he is and gun fucking another chick just as dumb. And I mean, she either learned a lesson, but you know, she's probably not having children, so that dumb child's not coming out.
Well, she's 47. Her ovaries are dry.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Dude, there's chicks that are having kids in their fucking 60s and 70s.
How?
She's probably a hooker though.
Guns are not sex toys.
Yeah.
I think, do we need a goddamn warning label that says that now?
Yeah.
That would be something, like, what if he was a gun trader, and he had a thing, like, he'd gun fuck her, and then sell the gun? Do you think if they knew that it was in a gun fucking incident, it would lower or raise the value?
It'd raise it depending on who you're selling it to.
I thought it was almost impossible to get a gun in Britain. Apparently not.
Yeah, it's got to be an antique gun.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, also, yeah.
For killing vermin.
Now, like, she wouldn't get off if it wasn't loaded?
We must assume because the gun was loaded.
You know, I've done some pretty dumb shit with guns, but we always made sure
Do I
they
have
were
a
unloaded.
I think I have a picture of the guy on there. Maybe. Let's see. It'd be on one of the buttons. No,
It's
it'd be
just
on one of these.
unthinkable. I can't understand a lot of different fetishes in the world. Like
Misadventure or sex.
that being right now at the top of the only thing I can think of how stupid you.
I didn't put a picture of him on there.
Why?
Doesn't look like it.
There's nobody in this world anymore sit and think, why am I doing this
Was it under
stupid thing
gun
right
fucking?
now?
Our survival instinct's gone. Our whole, I'm a scientist and I believe in curiosity and shit. But, you know...
Curiosity?
Not curiosity.
Not of the limp wrist variety?
No. Definitely taken. But, like, to get up... I mean, if seriously, you're seriously messed in the head if you have to have a loaded gun anywhere near your genitals to get off.
Agreed.
I mean, you gotta have a screw loose. Like, there's fetishes out there. You know, oh, you need to get whipped a little bit or whatever. Fine, but a fucking loaded gun.
I mean, couldn't she just
Now,
scream at it?
They don't
Call it mean names?
They don't
Like,
go
does
into
it have to be
detail.
under the threat of death for this to work?
Only way I can get off is I think if I'm gonna die, like legitimately,
They say she suffered
fear of death.
significant damage to her bladder, vagina, and uterus
Uterus.
Uterus instead of.
but is
uterus.
expected to survive. Now, what do you think? You got a picture of him? So, I have a picture of him. Go to the folder. Go back.
Training on the job.
Yeah, sorry, new producer, go back.
Limp Bizkit.
Go graphic sources. Season 4, episode 7.
Just one of those days
Down,
when you don't want to
down,
wake up.
down.
Everything is fucked. Everybody
Right in there.
sucks.
Yep, there he is. Right next to the
remember
sea
Blair
flea, and
with
you can
this
just
kid.
drag it
My
right
freaking
in.
Yeah.
Forerunner back as a freshman
Boom.
in college.
There he is. Do you think this guy looks like he would have known whether to load or unload that fucking thing?
He looks pretty high.
Yeah, he looks baked.
He
Looks
looks
like
like
he
he's
got piff.
he's your new co-host, Doug.
Ha!
How does that make you feel?
Don't shoot me in the vagina.
And he definitely doesn't
Don't
look
vagina
like
shoot
the
me.
brightest
I'm gonna
crayon in the
Gun
box.
fuck you.
You gonna gun fuck me,
I will.
sweetheart?
Till
I
you
wanna
cry.
say that. I want to hear that in an action movie or like a thriller movie. I'm gonna gun fuck you. Limp Bizkit.
I can't help but think I have heard that threat before somewhere in a movie
Probably
or
a
horror
Rob Zombie
movie.
film.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Or an Eli Roth film.
like I am sure that has been in a horror film before, but and I thought that's where like the storyline was going when you said shot her in the pussy. I'm like, so some crazy bastard caught his wife cheating and fucked her
I'm
up.
curious, like
I
how
wasn't
fucked
ready
it
for
is, you know.
I wasn't ready for the twist at all. That's
I mean-
crazy.
She's gonna have to explain that. Pardon my vagina. I was getting gun fucked
By a squirrel gun.
by a vermin gun, and it went off.
How far do you
In
think
me
it made
vagina.
it? Like, you think it's like in her sternum now or some shit?
Maybe.
Well, it said bladder, so it'd have
Yeah.
to be pretty low.
Bladder, uterus, and vagina.
Ookie.
Yeah. So, in other news,
I think his punishment is he should have to marry her for the next 20 years, and if he's caught,
And that'd be only his vagina.
that only his vagina.
Britain is a weird place. I don't like it. But police officers have been accused of spying on a couple having sex from a force helicopter have been cleared of misconduct, while one constable who filmed the whole thing has admitted fault. They filmed it from a helicopter while on the job, and they got off on the charges. The case was opened after an 8-minute video emerged of the couple brazenly having sex in their garden.
In their garden? That's
in
hot.
their garden. And the
Do you
cops
have that
filmed
video?
it from... I mean, it's going to be obvious that you are in a helicopter
Yeah,
from
just
that
boom, boom,
angle.
Yeah.
boom. Were they going in
8
it so hard?
minutes?
they didn't notice?
8 minutes. You know, she was like, okay, they're watching. He's like, I don't care. I gotta finish.
Right? Us guys.
Do you think they're filming us? Shut up or I'll gun fuck ya.
That's alright. I heard British people having sex is really boring.
Don't mind us.
They just have
Continue
teeth.
Well,
humping
it's
in
because
the
they're
garden.
fucking their own
Family Guy.
bloodline.
Saw that on Family Guy, which is another documentary.
Yes, absolutely.
Did I say that out loud?
What?
That they're fucking their own bloodline.
Hey, ho, cheerio.
Well,
Cheerio.
I could kind of
He's
might
so
understand. I mean,
inbred, he actually
it's their
has blue blood.
backyard, but you know what's the expectation of privacy when you're in your backyard? That nobody can see you. Now it's kind of messed up if you're flying by and you see two people having sex that you hover and film it.
This isn't the first time they've filmed people naked. Like, they filmed people sunbathing naked. They've filmed couples. Like, this is numerous times this particular helicopter has had their footage, their camera used to film sexiness.
Just be more discreet. Use
Now-
a drone.
Yeah, well, but if
Well, I don't think they're out there like going.
see,
Today
drones,
we're gonna find naked
drones
people.
high enough where they couldn't see it, you wouldn't get good footage. You wouldn't be able to tell if it was fucking or fighting. But a drone that you could get clear enough footage, you and I would get in trouble for that.
Yeah, we
You
would.
know it. We would.
No, there's a lot of people that have actually sued people for shooting drones that were filming people in their backyards, and they owe them the money for their drone because there's no established law yet on what your expectation of privacy is in your backyard.
Didn't the town of Deer Trail pass a law saying that you could shoot down a drone?
Yeah, so did Netherland, I think.
Well, Netherland has Dead Man Day, so...
Yeah.
But no, this is definitely like a hot button issue, just period, is that people are flying drones around and looking at people in their yards.
Well, people are flying drones doing a lot of dumb shit, too, like near airports.
Yeah. And, well... So what I'm saying is, like, I don't think the cops are like flying around looking for naked people, but they act very immaturely when they come across the naked people, and they're like, "Hey, dude, give me your camera and film this." You know,
well, like, I could get for like, well, I mean, it's wrong, but I mean, like, I could see him doing it for like 10, 15 seconds, maybe a minute, but 8 minutes. You would notice.
Me personally, I wouldn't need to film it because I'm not a put things on Facebook kind of guy, but I'd definitely get out my microphone and be like, "Hey, you. Hey, you guys.
Yeah.
Hey, stop doing that. You shouldn't be doing that."
I guess one of the cops
and they just fly on.
Had found out the couple
that would be funny.
were swingers and ended up banging her.
Wow.
This goes deeper than we thought.
Another way of getting off.
Yeah. Some pretty awesome shit.
But she didn't know that, like, that was how...
It was before the fact, not after.
Do you think...
Well, no, he found out... he found out that the couple were swingers and started, you know...
Just
this
moved
was
in
after
right on.
he had filmed them. Fucking. And then he fucked her.
Goals.
He should have fucked her out in the garden.
Who's to say
so
he
the
didn't?
helicopter could have filmed it.
Do you think he found out who
Alright,
she was?
boys, be there at 3 p.m. sharp. Actually, I guess it'd be 1500.
UTC. Or GMT, they go by GMT, which is the same as UTC.
I mean, I guess it takes all kinds to make a world. Love is what love is, and people are fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Right?
Love is a battlefield.
It's true.
If maybe that's what he needed to get laid, was to fly over people's houses and film people having sex, because it obviously was his way in this time. It worked. Maybe this works more often than we think.
Yeah.
And this is why they're doing it, is because it's proven effective. And
I need to get me a helicopter.
British people are fucking weird. They're gun fucking and filming it.
And cops are peeping toms.
Yeah.
And shit, for $100 you can get a drone capable of carrying a camera, and then whatever you want to
For
put
less
on the
than
camera.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Fuck.
I don't see myself flying it though. I've tried to do the little remote control helicopters all the time, and I break it in like 2 minutes, and
That
I'm like,
drone around
okay,
here
I'm done.
somewhere was like $50, and it's got a pretty decent little HD camera on it. No GoPro by any means, but you can get those for fucking cheap too. You can get ones that set GPS coordinates.
I want to get more into watching the drone racing, because it's like
insane.
It's like Star Wars.
I heard that's one of the things that they're showing on the Ocho.
Yeah.
You guys hear about that?
Mm-hmm. I heard about
Freaking
that.
ESPNU for today switched over to the Ocho. They had like drone racing,
Did they have
freaking
Jason
tag.
Bateman?
Oh, they had to. I hope so.
I really fucking hope so.
I hope so too.
Oh my god.
Teen Wolf too.
They also had like tag, and like the World Championship of bags.
I also saw.
I want to play. I want to be like the world champion of tag.
Right.
I'd be like, it's been my lifelong dream since I was in
Looking up
kindergarten.
The top fucking
Recognized.
drone pilots and
But they got Street Fighter too, like the World Championship Street Fighter tournament.
Now, if they just had like the Magic the Gathering.
Yeah, right. That'd be fucking awesome.
I actually did see that like it was like 10 years ago
They
on
have-
ESPN2 way
Right.
late at night, like early.
They
in the
have
morning.
massive gaming tournaments that they like set up a bunch of laptops in a or gaming systems up in a warehouse and put them all on a server, closed net server, and people watch that in like all the different games.
Twitch or
you know.
TV or whatever. like in South Korea and like Japan and shit, they have fucking sold out stadiums for video games.
That's fucking crazy.
Championships.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen
Like, people
Moke?
make big money on it.
Have you ever seen Moke Pond? It's like watching Asian people eat. Yeah, like it's like you pay them to eat, and they just fucking eat all kinds. And like how I found out about it is with the Walking Dead Steve Yeun was making fun of it with Funny or Die, and he quit being a star in America so he could go eat food on the internet in Korea, and it's some real shit. It's weird.
You get
real
some weird
weird.
stuff over there.
Yeah, I get paid to eat food.
Yeah. And they like pay for the food and
Do
like
they
tip
watch
you and
it?
shit. Yeah. They like
Do they like get off?
you
on
have
it?
to like eat it and be like, oh, it tastes so good. Yum 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 yum. It's like,
So
Yeah.
for Twitch users for Rocket League, there was 85,000 people watching the World Series
that's fucking crazy.
for Rocket League. Do you know what that is?
Yeah.
No.
Video game? Yeah, people will watch people play video games.
Yeah. I make no promises.
Anyways,
You know,
shall I pick a topic?
I actually heard Josh wants to be a video game streamer.
I heard that.
Yeah, he's got videos of him fucking up on Grand Theft Auto on Xbox. Pretty funny. I've watched him because Fred Durst have no life.
Does he dub him?
Not yet. It's just gonna be fart noises and sexual moans.
You know what
Oh,
else
cool.
I heard a lot of people watch, like with video game wise, is like the retro games, is like time trials to see how long it takes to beat them. See
Right.
if they can get like a world record.
I've seen some Sonic speed runs and shit. It was pretty cool.
I want to talk about our Not All Heroes Wear Capes. of the
Good.
week.
Is it Fred Durst?
No, we've got two, though. A man made history this week.
What'd he do?
A Satanist man.
Oh yeah.
After delivering an invocation at, was it Glenwood Springs?
Sure.
Glenwood Springs, maybe? City council meeting? And he
Haven't
hailed
heard of
Satan in the process. And then another man survived 2 days in the desert on nothing but his own piss, beer, and crackers.
Really only needed the beer. He didn't.
Didn't
He
have to
didn't have to
drink
drink
his
the
pee.
piss. Like
You
beer
have to go
will.
all 127
Why not?
hours.
Beer will keep you hydrated. It's not the best way to stay hydrated by any means, but it'll do it.
And crackers, dude?
Well,
Were they
salt.
unsalted?
Salt, yeah.
If they were salted crackers, you might. But yeah, little interesting fact: any alcoholic beverage that is less than 12% alcoholic content will hydrate you. It'll be less efficient than water, obviously, but
If that's what you got, it's what you got.
so
he drank his
So
piss.
really, he just
He
had
drank
a
his piss because he
vacation, like-
wanted to.
Yeah.
Like,
You know, the
Well, he's our hero for
8%
that.
IPA is all I have. Well, damn it, shit.
He is our hero.
why do I have to
Shit.
drink good beer?
I like those.
Survived 2 days in our Arizona desert.
I really want to know if the saltines were salted or unsalted.
Probably salted.
They're probably salted.
Yeah, who buys
Who's
unsalted
to say they weren't
crackers?
Ritz?
If they were
Cheez-Its?
they're salted and buttered. Good calorie.
God, I want some crackers.
I don't know. Probably not. I wouldn't like to only eat
Green
crackers in the
Junction
desert.
is where the Satanist hailed Satan.
Oh shit.
Grand Junction.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
That place needs a little more Satan.
I was near Grand Junction 2 weeks ago. I was on the Grand Mesa.
Was it pretty awful?
Oh, it was awesome, except the rain.
What do you think about this? You think this is a
Can you repeat it? Because I lost track.
Satanist gave the invocation at the Grand Junction council meeting?
Huh.
Just
They
kind
let
of,
him.
Yeah. And he
Good.
hailed
Yeah.
Satan.
Good on him.
but,
I would be
like,
surprised that,
but Satanists don't believe in Satan.
true Satanists don't.
There were people outside protesting.
Satanists
of
are
course.
atheists. They're just called Satanists during the time of the Spanish Inquisition and that time era because they were hunted by the Catholic Church, and the Catholic Church had propaganda war against atheists and called them Satanists. But yeah,
I'm a Santanist.
Satanists are atheists. there's kind of, why would an atheist give an invocation?
Why not?
Free speech,
guess.
bitch.
Oh no, I'm not saying he shouldn't be allowed to by any means.
Now,
I'm just curious
is he
about
a Satanist in the sense of
The
Church of Satan? That'd be a different story.
Like Antoine LaVey's church?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's they're still atheists.
They're still atheists, yes. But it's I don't know.
Like, I mean,
freedom of speech,
Antoine
man.
LaVey is more of a rip-off of Aleister Crowley anyway.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, and Aleister Crowley didn't believe in any type of organized religion. So,
Mr. Crowley.
though that guy was like a pretty fucked up motherfucker there.
Who?
Well, how
Crowley?
about this,
Yeah,
like, at a
Aleister
city
Crowley,
council meeting
crazy.
or whatever, not have a convocation, because isn't it that a clash of church and state?
And they obviously did this because they
Isn't
want to
the
keep
Pledge
a
of
prayer
Allegiance?
involved. It was either allow this man to do it, or you can't do it for
at
anybody.
all.
Well, he was the first. Andrew Vodopich was the first in Colorado to do so.
I wonder why I didn't hear that from any of my Grand Junction friends.
Well, they were upset, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were probably super pissed.
But he is one of our heroes, and so is the man who survived on piss that he didn't need to. And
Beer and
he
crack.
wrote a bunch of notes, right? Well, he had more than that. His survival provisions consisted of a water bottle, a few beers, crackers, potato chips, and a sandwich. He had a vacation, pretty much.
How long was he out
Well, he
there?
had no
Like, all
idea
day?
how long he would need to make them stretch. On the first day, he hiked for hours, desperately trying to find cell phone signal, but no avail. He was out there 2 days.
Oh, bullshit. Boo.
Yeah.
Weak sauce.
If you would have dehydrated
Aaron
with your
Ralston.
own damn fault for walking
all
around
I have
pointlessly.
to say is Aaron Ralston.
Maybe
Aaron
he-
Ralston, bitch.
You know what, dude? This guy, what's his name? I don't know his name.
Not
to
Aaron
find
Ralston.
I'm trying to find it. No, it's not. Omen. Mick Omen. He's 55. You get downgraded from our fucking hero to one of our idiots of champions. Why?
Agreed.
I need to start reading these things.
Yeah, that'd be helpful.
I'm only one man.
I know.
Just can't go for the clickbaity title. You gotta go in deep.
That's how we
Read
live
the
our
article.
life now.
I came into this one blind. I had no time. I was in the middle of
I
work.
kind of went in blind too, because it's true. If you jerk it too much.
Yeah, you guys know the story of Aaron Ralston, right? That's what you need to
I've-
top.
Yeah, I've met the guy.
If you want to be known for survival, you have to top the Aaron Ralston story.
I remember when
The
he
guy
got
cut his
arrested
own arm off
here.
and was under a
In Fort Collins?
Yeah, for domestic violence.
Well, yeah, I heard he got the divorce from his wife.
Yeah. He comes in with a shop on occasion.
Ooh.
He's got some high-end fucking prosthetics.
I'll have to, if he's in sometime, you might have to shoot me a text message and be like, hey, get over here quick.
He's a character.
Is he the dude from 127 Hours?
Yeah, well, he's not James Franco.
Oh.
Never mind.
He's the guy
Yeah.
James Franco played in the movie.
Yeah.
Movie? I thought that was a documentary.
Could have been.
Well, fuck you, Mick Omen, and your vacation that we had to read about.
Now, if you actually had supplies when you got rescued, that's not survival.
No.
He's just like, I'm drinking the beer because I have it. I want to save the
Did
beer.
you ever, you guys remember it was a couple of years ago, but that lady, survived in her, crashed minivan for, 2 weeks on, nothing but stream water and fucking breath mints?
That's a
Yeah.
trooper.
That's
I mean,
a fucking
as
trooper.
long as you stay hydrated, starving takes a long time.
Yeah, it's what mainly kills you is dehydration.
Was she a bigger woman?
No. Elderly woman.
Is that the lady who was with her grandson?
Mm-mm. That's a different story.
That happened.
Dude, I bet the bacteria's in the water just tearing her guts up too for that 2 weeks. I mean,
Giardia.
yeah, and just
Super diarrhea.
Cryptosporidium.
and she's trapped in there, so she's gross.
Crypto.
Well, you know, a lot of those situations, it's people literally thinking they either get lost in the woods just driving and they get on a road where their vehicle can't make it anymore, or they actually think where they know where they're going and they don't.
Yeah.
You know, oh, this is a shortcut, and they get lost. Like they're not desert. They're like, oh, we're going to go into this remote area. Let's go up this logging road. With our minivan.
I've been turned around in the woods before. It sucks when it happens, but
you, sir, get to pick
Ooh.
the next topic.
All right, we'll get to it. I want to hear about this whole conspiracy corner
Oh!
apocalypse. Because
The
I
It's about two
am an astronomy guy.
eclipse. So, as many of you know, the eclipse, the solar eclipse, will be getting thrown down next week, right?
Yeah.
Is that correct? Next week?
First total
No.
solar eclipse over North America in 100 years.
the 21st of August.
Yep, 21st of August.
Nice.
Which is also the first day of school. For college, anyway. So,
Yeah.
I don't think a lot of people are going to show up.
No, they're all going to be up in Wyoming.
I am. We're going to be camping for 3 days, dude.
Over
up there
at-
already.
Over at Glendo or
We're going to be over by Casper.
over by Castle? Like Glendo is
And
like
our
I think
backup
about.
spots in Nebraska.
Yeah, so Glendo's about as south as you can get and see the full eclipse.
Yeah,
So,
totality.
yeah, the totality. I mean, not like people in here aren't going to see a massively awesome, cool eclipse. I mean,
Well, make sure you have
It's
safety
just-
gear because
yeah.
even I think here we're going to have like 95% totality, and even 5% of sunlight will melt your retinas. So please wear proper safety gear.
Yes.
And there's a lot of places. I just wanted to throw this out like a safety thing. The more you know. A lot of places are selling counterfeit solar eyeglasses, protection
Yeah.
glasses.
Bastard.
Make sure
Do
you
not go through DH gate.
Well, yeah, make sure you go through credible sources, guys. I know a lot of the public libraries are actually handing out free solar glasses to watch the eclipse. So, and also welder guys, don't use your welding mask to look at the eclipse, even at 95% totality, because it doesn't give you guys enough UV protection. So, the more you know.
Damn.
PSA.
Can I use these?
No, they are cool looking, but no. Those would literally the sun would melt your retinas in about 5 seconds.
if I used a magnifying glass, would it look closer?
Dude, I'll give you
Like
a
the
dollar.
you're like, ah!
Yeah.
I'll give you $1.
It's going to be
More
so
than I made
big.
off Golden Cobra.
Oh, and also, guys, do not freak out
Or
that
that
the
album that
sun's
you
going
put
to
out on
be
the
blocked
internet
out.
a year
It's
and a half
just
ago.
the moon shadow. It's just the moon shadow.
I'm
It's
pretty
the
sure-
moon passing in front of
No,
the sun.
no. I read several books about this, and you have to cut out a person's heart and offer it up, or the moon will never release the sun. So this is a fact. I mean, people did this.
It's been
Yeah.
doing it for thousands of years.
I've actually heard that too.
We
I
have
read,
to pray for the sun to come back.
right?
Well,
Yeah, shit's
if
gonna
you're
get real.
David Mead, the oxymoronic Christian numerologist,
Is this the guy that says
the
gravity's
eclipse
toxin?
on August will bring about the coming of a new planet, Nibiru.
Oh fuck, that's right. That's what it's supposed to be.
Oh my
That's
god,
funny.
There's gonna be a
Planet
new
Nibiru's
planet?
coming back.
He
Yeah.
believes that this will pass by Earth and even crash into it soon after the
Oh,
apocalypse.
is this the planet on the
eclipse.
other side of the sun that nobody knows exists because it rotates exactly with us on the other side
Funny
of the
because
sun?
we have a satellite that's literally on the
other
opposite
side
side
of
of
the
the solar
sun.
system, and we would know about it. We would actually know about it even if we didn't have the
Well, yeah,
space,
because-
space age, because we would see it in the sky. Does the little loop-de-loop motion that I talk about?
Yeah.
You know, Kepler. Yeah.
We will not be able to see it here, but you can go up to Casper. The width of it is about, 40 to 60 miles?
Mhm.
Visible miles,
And I think in like Casper, it's supposed to last about 2.5 minutes. I mean,
Yeah.
like I'm telling you how fucking crazy people are going.
Do you think
about
the
this.
purge is going to happen?
No,
In 2 minutes.
No, but
No.
you can't find a hotel
So,
room
yeah.
in Casper for the last
Friggin' all the
5
hotels
years.
along the path of totality have been booked not just for months but for years. Farmers are offering up land, and this is how we're gonna go, because we've had this planned out for like a year. But farmers are actually charging like $500 a little slot for your tent and your little equipment to set up. And people are paying up to like, I heard like $5,000 just for a little
yeah.
spot.
Yeah.
And literally, if you guys think, oh, I'll just leave the day of and drive up to Casper,
gonna happen.
not gonna fucking happen. You literally have to be there like days before.
So we will not be able to see it here.
No, so we will not be able to see what we call 100% totality. So around here,
Where it's fully blocked.
where it's fully blocked, and you'll be able to see the corona and all that. Here in Fort Collins, well, there's actually a bunch of numerous websites you can look up to actually see how much totality based on your zip code. And around here, we'll have about 95%
Not
totality,
bad.
which is
Can we get glasses here?
yes. So like I said, make sure you get them from a credible source.
Are you a credible source?
No, but well, I am the astronomer.
I love how
so-
hesitant you were on
like,
that.
well, I guess I am certified, but I could point you in the right direction.
They're
I
about
don't-
$30, right?
No, you can get them for like, I think the most expensive pair I saw was like $3.
Can you buy them locally?
Yeah, I know King Super sells reliable ones. The Walmart ones are depending on what manufacturer they used. But I know the ones that are sold at King Supers are legit.
Is the planet Nibiru going to be coming behind it?
No.
Yes.
There was somebody
We got to
who
cover our
posted
bases
on a
here,
Georgia
just in case
police
somebody's got to be
page
right.
that it was the end of all time to come and that all pregnant women should start drinking liquor and smoking. It was a joke, but
So I'll be watching the eclipse in Glen Rock, just outside of Casper. My friend, at Andy's house, another member of Other People's Children.
yeah.
And
Mr. Fenton.
yeah, he's got some property out there now, so I'm just gonna go and watch that with him. And screw going into Casper. That place is gonna be overrun.
Literally the week before. So we have a couple of more days of being nice and peaceful before the mad. Even here, we're gonna get mad.
I
crowds.
need you to make up a conspiracy about what could happen with this eclipse.
I mean, back in the ancient times when an eclipse happened, like, we freaked out because we didn't know what an eclipse was. But, like, now we know. I mean, an eclipse helped prove help at least provide evidence for...
Will water
relative-
levels get weird?
Nope. I mean, tides will act normal.
Okay, well we
It
have
might
to
be a little
yell.
higher, but
We have to
Will we
yell
get skin
at the
cancer?
eclipse.
if you're looking at the sun...
Get the sun back.
Well, yeah, because the wolf is swallowing the sun, and if the wolf swallows the sun, we don't get the sun anymore. So we have to yell at the wolf to scare him away from the sun.
I would like to know how the flat earthers are going to prove how this is not supposed to work. Flat earth people, they do exist. But I'm just saying, if the earth was flat, cats would have already knocked everything off already. When the dinosaurs were roaming the flat earth and the asteroid hit, it just flipped
Flipped
the
it.
earth.
Exactly.
Like
Yeah,
a
just flung them into space.
flung it into space. Well, did I ever tell you guys, like, they actually think the asteroid impact was powerful enough 65 million years ago to actually eject dinosaurs into space? Like, literal full-scale dinosaurs into space, like Brontosaurus and shit.
They wouldn't
Yeah.
be vaporized?
Nope.
No, of course not.
If
They're
they were
dinosaurs.
further enough away from the blast but still get ejected.
Like, dinosaurs are super animals, so
Just-
they can live going through ozone.
I mean, they would have died when they reached escape velocity because of the G-force, but their bodies would be technically in heliocentric orbit.
And then they just fell back down to Earth,
Well, no,
over
they'd be
time.
orbiting the sun.
from I mean,
if they got a jet, if they reached escape velocity, like if an asteroid was coming out of that picture's butt, if it reached escape velocity, it would be in orbit around the sun.
We need, and it's very cold, right? Like in orbit without an atmosphere, so they'd probably be pretty well preserved.
Oh yeah.
There's an odds we get the dinosaurs back. We need to.
There's suggestions too that some of the dinosaurs.
Call your congressman. Tell NASA that we need to fund this pronto, because I want a brontosaurus petting zoo. I want a hunting velociraptor to go on hunts with me. I want these things.
You want to be like Chris Pratt in Jurassic World?
Oh, absolutely.
Be on the motorcycle.
Like, that's my pack. We're gonna go bring down a deer today. They get to keep it for the reward.
I believe that it's going to make people go mad. Baltimore's ceasefire will fail terribly in the midst of the eclipse. I think the Christians are going to shit a brick.
Yeah. See on the tabloids that doomsday's coming.
Well, do you remember a couple of years ago that guy predicted and he was wrong?
Oh yeah, we've survived
two
apocalypses.
He thought it was a spiritual apocalypse. Then, literally 2 months later, he suffered a stroke, and then I think he died 2 years later or something like that.
He had billboards everywhere.
Well, that just shows you how narcissistic people are. He wasn't wrong about the future. He just thought it. He just, like everybody, he thinks that everybody else is. He's the center of the universe.
Unfortunately, we're not the center of the universe. We're just a rock orbiting a plain old star.
Make sure that when you're at your solar eclipse viewing party, that you bring a virgin to sacrifice. Just in case.
Yeah.
Preferably female virgin.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, just do your studies real quick. I mean, just study eclipses in ancient cultures and what they had to do to save the world during an eclipse.
Yeah.
And just do all of it.
Yeah.
Cover your bases. Be a proper Boy Scout.
Gunfuck your mother.
I guess we could stretch the rules a little bit, and I guess they could have lost their virginity, but they've only had sex with one dude. We can stretch the rules a little bit,
No, we're not stretching it.
No,
we aren't stretching anything.
Gotta be a virgin.
The gods know if it's a virgin.
Even if you have to go raid a Magic the Gathering convention, you will get your virgin.
You gotta go to Comic-Con to get them.
Even if the hymen was popped just from a dildo.
It knows.
It knows. The gods know. And we will get revenge.
Kali Ma.
Yeah, for real, bro.
Kali Ma.
I mean, but I'm sure the government has a plan for this already, because this is what they do. They handle things like this, so we don't have to worry about it.
I'm watching that show on CBS, Salvation, the one about the asteroid hitting Earth. CBS.
What else is on that channel? Is that the one with NCIS and shit?
Football.
Yeah, right.
I think the originals, but I'm watching it on
Patriots.
Netflix, so I'm not sure which company broadcasts it.
You heard that?
Which show are you talking about?
The originals?
Oh.
How do you feel, Fred Durst?
Like I'm ready to watch Patriots win another Super Bowl next year.
There's some people saying that they'll go undefeated again.
Oh, yeah. It's going to happen.
They
I haven't looked at their
barely
schedule.
won.
No, Jay Cutler and the Dolphins are going to go down.
You shut the fuck
up. Football is
That's
rigged.
where I draw the line.
The Jets.
Just like our elections, football is rigged.
Yep.
Why do you think the Patriots won the Super Bowl during the year of 9/11?
True.
Right after that, Patriots won the Super Bowl. Why? Because they want Patriots.
Fucking with it.
Well, if you
be
go
a
with that
thing.
analogy, then why'd they let the Diamondbacks win the World Series, literally right after 9/11?
But they've never
Instead
let
of the Yankees.
Wetbacks win.
Because the Yankees and the Diamondbacks aren't the Patriots. They want
say that
a
out loud?
patriotic
But
feeling to the country.
Yankees, a Yankee's also a patriotic thing.
Yeah, but they might offend the South because the South didn't like the Yankees either. Or no, didn't they use Yankees as the South called the Union troops Yankees as well afterward?
Well, I know it wasn't Yankee used during the Revolutionary War?
Originally, yeah, but I
then
think
we were called Yanks. The North was.
Yeah,
The only Yankees I like are
it
them
was,
damn Yankees.
and we called them Rebs.
Thank you. I'm reading the world right now.
Nothing beats Ted Nugent.
No.
The Nuge. He is my fucking Lord and Savior. He'll save me from the apocalypse.
He lets terminally ill children do pig hunts on his property.
Yeah.
I wonder if they're like, what'll happen. I mean, I don't trust other cultures to not get weird during the eclipse.
Like, what if, like, China has a super secret part of their culture where this eclipse
it's only going to be
represents?
mainly North America this time around. But, like, tonight...
I mean, there's...
We don't get to see it because the other half of the world got to see it, but there was a lunar eclipse for, like, Europe and Asia and Australia.
Tonight.
When
is this crazy meteor shower that's supposed to be...
It's happening right now. Well, it's starting, like, right now, but peaks around the 12th.
Yeah. And it's
supposed to be really crazy, right?
No, well, like if you're thinking like meteors shooting through the sky like crazy, you're going to be kind of disappointed. I think they said it's like 60. They're estimating 60 a minute, which is a pretty good show.
That's 1 second.
Yes.
But you have to be pretty far away from light pollution. Like where I was camping 2 weeks ago on the Grand Mesa, where to see that. We'll see the brighter ones.
Yeah.
And all they are about the size of a blueberry, traveling at hypersonic speeds. From
Define what a hypersonic speed is.
Well, so average meteorite or average shooting star is about, like I said, about the size of a blueberry. So and then they're traveling 30,000 miles per hour, double orbital velocity.
But they're not traveling. What is it at the speed of light, which is 186,282 miles per second, right?
Yep, that's the exact number.
How about that shit? I didn't even Google it.
I don't believe your facts.
But even the speed of light is slow as shit in our universe, because our universe is so big.
It's true.
So
is this chocolate starfish.
And the hot dog flavored water.
Yeah.
You know it.
You know that's what they have to live off of if they travel to the stars.
Oh.
Yeah, that's
hot
astronaut
dog flavored
food.
water and the chocolate starfish. Because of the star, never mind. I'm just kidding.
I thought it was an anal sex reference.
I'm still pretty convinced it was.
If I was trapped on a ship with Jennifer Lawrence...
You'd eat her butt?
Seriously.
Is that where this is going?
I mean, you were on that. Literally, you were going to die on that ship because you woke up too early. Yeah, you'd probably get pee in the butt.
J-Law's PR fucking rep is going to be calling us real quick. Please do not claim you will eat her ass again on your show.
See,
dude,
J-Law!
She might be into
Let us eat your ass!
She's into some
Let Chris Pratt do it. He ended his marriage.
Yeah.
Did it?
They're getting divorced. Yeah.
Because of J-Law?
No.
I'm saying yes.
She's a cutie, though.
Or J-Lo.
No, she's
J-Lo.
too old. No moss. But J-Law.
Freaking Taylor Swift had to come back to Colorado today because that dude's trial
Trying
started.
to finger her butt.
Dude, I wonder how many crazy teenagers were standing outside the courthouse flying signs. I love you, Taylor.
Really?
Yeah.
That's hot.
Oh, Taylor Swift.
She's hot.
This song was the breakup with Todd Hiddleston.
Yeah.
I
don't
appreciate anything of her musical talent, but she's hot.
That.
I'd only fuck her if she was dressed like Mystique.
Or Rihanna.
She gotta be dressed like Rihanna? How does J-Law dress like Rihanna? Do you put her in blackface?
Not J-Law. I thought we were talking about T Swift.
Yeah.
Both were?
Yeah. I need to drop the starfish.
I'm not picking.
Listen. Kanye Wester. I hope somebody does Kanye Wester at the trial. I'm not saying...
Your point isn't valid. I'm just saying you should have let him finger your butt.
Beyonce did the ass fingering better.
She actually let it happen.
It's got to be one of his most proudest moments.
You can see the picture. There's a picture that they're using as evidence where the guy has his hand back behind her, you know, and she looks uncomfortable. And they say he slid his hand up her skirt and caressed her bum.
Bum.
That's
probably $1 million
very
bum right there.
inappropriate.
Are you looking it up?
Oh, yeah.
We're gonna have pictures, ladies and gentlemen. We're just gentlemen.
This is
Yep,
good.
that's the picture.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Oh, man, he's getting in there.
He's picking that
I
wedgie.
think you can drag it over.
No.
Aw.
Don't worry.
He's on it.
So, if you could choose any celebrity to get inappropriate with, who would you pick?
Are we still getting sued?
Glenn Campbell.
No. Yeah. I was gonna say Bruce Campbell.
Glenn Campbell just passed away today.
You heartless son of a bitch. But I don't know. I'd probably choose Bruce Campbell.
The chin.
This is what...
Yeah.
Hillary.
Yeah, look at that. Look at that.
That's not really...
The dress isn't like hyped
I
up.
don't.
He's just
I don't
trying to
see
pat her
that
butt.
as the unless she has like a split in the back of that dress. He's not lifting that dress. She does not want to use that at her trial. You
I
see
would be
it pulled
stoked,
up
though.
in the front. It would make an
Well, he
upward
was fired
slope.
because of the allegations of him finger bucking her, trying to
Finger bucking her.
trying to
Finger bucking her, man. That's a lewd term right there. I can't believe you just said that on the air.
Do you think she made this face when he did it?
Hashtag finger bucking. He definitely did. That's Trump's face. You get to pick the next topic.
Let's go Faithless Humanity. Ohio parents in cold desert.
Cold dessert.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
So
bad
we have
with
a
those two
picture of
words.
this. We'll talk about the cold dessert first. This poor kid in South Korea was burned severely to the point where he had a hole burned into his stomach after eating a dessert that was cooled by liquid nitrogen. Yes, it is a cereal that is frozen, kind of like Fruity Pebbles. That is a popular treat that they call Dragon's Breath. It's a frozen, puffy cereal. Now, he was fine eating the cereal, but then the idiot drank the liquid at the bottom of the cup.
Oh, no.
And you're not supposed to do that.
No.
So he drank liquid nitrogen.
Yeah.
Okay. That's dumb.
That gives me no faith. They've
I-
since been shut down.
Yeah, you would think if they leave liquid nitrogen at the bottom of the fucking bowl or cup.
Somebody's gonna drink it.
Yeah, you should
People aren't-
should
people-
have disclaimers everywhere.
People are not smart, and people that sell products need to keep that in mind when
Well,
they're
how
giving
much
people
liquid
product.
nitrogen was in there? Because it boils off pretty quick at room temperature. But the leftovers are still fucking cold as hell.
I don't know.
It's probably a big old thing of it, and he just like pounded it. And
This isn't the first
This is a
injury though that has happened due to liquid nitrogen. There have been a few that have happened
there
from
was a
liquid nitrogen cooled desserts.
There was a chick in Britain. She was nominated for the Darwin Award. Because the bar got sued incredibly because they were offering this dumb challenge, but they said take a shot of liquid nitrogen. Well, when liquid nitrogen expands into gaseous hydrogen, it expands 1,000 times. Its volume expands 1,000 times. So her stomach exploded before it froze.
Yeah, my dad used to haul liquid nitrogen for a few years until he wrecked the truck, and my brother, they just kind of lost their business. But it was a trucking business he was trying to get off the ground, and he actually dipped a towel in the liquid nitrogen and showed us, smashing it up against the tank, and it was pretty cool demonstration. But
I remember
I've never looked at that and said, you know what, I want to start doing food product with that stuff.
It's real popular in the bar scene for cocktails. And there was a girl who had to have her stomach removed.
This is the one I'm talking about.
Because of it burning so bad. Yeah, in the UK. Okay, because UK people are inbred and illiterate, so.
Well, I remember in
know they have
Vegas,
bad teeth.
I had a drink that had
Because they're illiterate.
dry ice at the bottom of it. It had a huge chunk of dry ice at the bottom of the glass. And dry ice is at a way higher temperature, but it's still well below freezing.
So burn
Zero. It still burned the shit out of you. And they told you, they're like, once you're done with this, do not eat this shit at the bottom of the glass. They had a warning on the glass itself. Because you could probably tell they're like, yeah, this has probably happened a time or two.
Yeah.
Oh, I burned my tongue on dry ice.
Which is ridiculous because, you know, every kid knows what happens when you put dry ice in the punch bowl, and every kid knows not to do it. It's a Halloween tradition that you put dry ice in the punch bowl.
Like it's the most cheap, like, Halloween effect that, like, every Halloween party has.
Yeah.
It's dry ice and water.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, even as a little kid, I knew not to play with the dry ice.
Why don't you play with the dry ice?
So if you hold it long enough, your skin will it'll be like a burn.
Yeah.
Freezer burn.
I'm being
You don't masturbate with it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not advocating for this frozen dessert. Nothing tastes good enough to freeze my stomach.
So I can burn my crotch with it.
Then again, I don't know. I'm gonna have to actually try
And
this
the
now
cold
because maybe they
cotton
did
ball
find
torture.
something so good it's worth freezing the risk of freezing your stomach.
Do you see liquid nitrogen burns on there? So, I mean, essentially, when you hold the air duster upside down, it gets to that same temperature. That really fucking instant freezing. Remember Joe Woodman?
No, it's not ringing a bell with me.
He ended up holding it on his skin for probably fucking 20 seconds.
Oh, shit.
And was such a terrible fucking burn.
This I'm starting to remember, I think.
Yeah, it was terrible. Terrible burn.
I know they have that instant freeze medicine stuff. You're only
For your
supposed to
warts and stuff?
Yeah, you're only supposed to hold it on there for a certain amount of time, and more than that, it can actually do damage.
Yeah. You got some pictures.
Yeah.
These pictures are
Stupid.
brutal.
Ugh. I see some of those. Ow.
Oh, God.
Damn.
Nope.
Was that the chick's stomach that was burned?
No.
No?
Yeah. So, like, you just...
Sorry, folks.
There's really no reason. Liquid nitrogen has purposes in science and industries. It really has no purpose in food. Keep the liquid nitrogen out of my food. I don't...
Yeah.
Only in South Korea. Well, then again, I mean, we better Google this. Is there any food restaurants in America doing this trend? This sounds like this sounds like something that would go over well in San Francisco.
But I bet it's so heavily regulated that nothing makes sure it happen. I know, like, some people, like, there was a deal where, like, you can get ice cream that's been liquid nitrogen cooled.
But ice cream's cold enough in the freezer. It's unnecessary.
But I guess people say that, like, nitrogen cooled ice cream is creamier. There's more air bubbles and there's smaller air bubbles, I guess. I don't know.
What you guys talking about?
We're talking about Jesus and
we should-
nitrogen burning.
I like that.
There's a restaurant in Chicago named Alenia, I think it's called, that's going to be using some liquid nitrogen.
There's ice cream parlors
That's what this is here.
that use it. Yeah, were they on Shark Tank?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So they're
I
copying
love
the South Koreans' bad food choices and bringing it to America, so they can get sued when a kid eats a piece of ice cream and freezes his stomach. Okay, I like this idea.
I think we should all get liquid nitrogen all up in us.
So was the other topic Ohio parents?
So, yeah, these, anyways, these parents whose kid was bullied, this 8-year-old who was bullied, who ended up hanging himself, are suing the school district for wrongful death over the fact that they didn't report some of the bullying activity and shit to the parents and all sorts of shit. We've talked about this case in particular on this show before. But they are suing the school now.
So the parents had no idea their kid was being bullied.
I guess not. That's what they were saying. Well, the school didn't contact him when he was knocked unconscious by a bully.
But they were aware, they did inform him of the bullying.
But just not all of the case.
Yeah.
Not all the
Documented
cases,
cases.
yeah. Yeah. So they're suing the school.
And had they told them just a few more times, the bullying would have stopped, or the parents would have done a better job at coaching their son, or would have realized there was a problem.
I don't.
Yeah, I don't understand. I mean, all the bullying did actually take place on school, at least, though, right?
Yeah, it was at school.
Okay. Because, like, I've seen a lot of these lawsuits pop up because the kids are getting bullied on social media, and they sue the school.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sitting there thinking, well, the school's not the parent, so this really isn't.
But the school stuff does.
Yeah,
get
but
out
if
of
there's,
hand.
oh yeah, I mean, bullying at school is something I've dealt with, but I've dealt with it on both sides. You know, as when I was in middle school and high school, it was a massive pecking order, like, constantly fighting. You know, you're either bullied or you're doing bullying all
You're the
time.
hunted or hunted.
Yeah, it's just everybody does. You know, you get bullied by the people that are above you in the pecking order, and you bully the people down below, and that can switch on an instant.
Yeah.
Not much the teachers really have done about it. I mean, there's one teacher to 36 kids. They can't watch them all at the same time.
It's crazy that we're getting to the point of seeing 8-year-olds hanging themselves. Shit like that.
8 years old. Like, on this, I just don't understand. You know, I don't see suing the school as it being their sole benefactor without saying that the school is the parent and they're the ones responsible for the well-being of the child all the time. But, and bullying, I've never really heard of when I was younger. I mean, everybody got bullied, nobody killed themselves over it.
Right.
This is a generation of softies.
I think that's part of the problem is that we were like, I remember when I was a kid, you know, first we try, if words didn't work, then it was all right to freaking punch a bully in the face.
Now kids.
Now you can't.
Now
do
kids
that.
go to now that'll get you going to court trial.
Well, yeah,
you know, no tolerance.
Well, I think the
zero.
whole zero tolerance shit is bull crap.
I think that's doing a lot of, you know,
that's doing a lot of harm too.
I need to be allowed to tell my kid, you know, if you're getting bullied at school, you know, try to avoid the kid. If that doesn't work,
then
tell him to
defend yourself.
Tell him leave you alone. If that doesn't work, punch the kid. You don't
punch
have to
him in the dick.
Right in the dick.
With your dick.
I think that's called docking.
Yeah,
that is docking.
Well, a
yes,
dick in a dick, that's me talking me.
It's a violent fighting strategy. It's not what they make it out on the
that would end some bullying.
A dick inside a dick is me talking.
But
helicopter dick.
But zero tolerance in schools is, I don't know, that policy is, you know, harmful in more ways than just one. I mean, boys aren't allowed to be boys in school either, just because of that zero tolerance policy.
I don't know. I think a lot of the issue is I mean, yeah, there is a lot of fucked up bullying, and it gets to a different level, especially with social media access these days. But teachers, first and foremost, you need to get people who want to be there, and and you need to pay them better. They don't get paid enough to give a fuck about your kids, and that's the thing. And the higher ups have worked their way to that point to where they don't give a fuck about your kids because they're getting a fat paycheck nonetheless.
I'm agreeing more with him on this one. You can't. Teachers are there to teach kids math, science, arithmetic. That's pretty much it. we're putting way too much responsibility on schools and teachers to raise
And
our
we're not
children.
getting paid
And then when they come home, you wonder why the social media bullying affects them so much. Where you've given a fucking 8-year-old a cell phone so he can sit there and get on Facebook and watch all the and participate in all the crap that goes on it. You know, maybe you don't give kids.
Cesspool.
Yeah. Maybe don't give your kids a smartphone
Instagram.
when, you know, make them buy one after they get a job. You don't have to
Right.
get your kids smartphones. They don't have to be on Facebook. So parents are like raising their kids so much less and less. They're expecting this more of the schools to do it, and one teacher to 36 students cannot raise your kids.
Right.
That's impossible.
It's getting paid like fucking 14 grand.
You know, that's not, the kids aren't learning socialization in high school. They're learning, or in school, they're learning a pecking order, because, you know, they got to figure out social skills for themselves. One teacher isn't going to teach that to them.
A pecking order sounds oddly sexual, and I like it.
I do too.
No, but wasn't there that case that was just like that girl got sentenced to like 2 years?
2 years, yeah.
2 years in prison
And
because her text messages were
Now,
considered
granted,
bullying.
she's a bitch.
Oh, yeah.
That
Well,
she's a
did
complete
you see
fucking
the
bitch.
text messages?
But being a bitch, last time I checked,
saw
wasn't
it.
a fucking crime. And you can't murder somebody through a text message. And that's what they charged her, or manslaughter. I mean, that they're basically saying your actions killed this person. And I'm like, there's an intervening action there that you guys are completely ignoring, and you're ignoring precedent of law. If you want to charge her, if you want to make this so it doesn't happen in the future, you need to pass a statute stating
What is it? It's the
you can't tell somebody to commit suicide.
Make it stop.
And then you gotta let the legal challenges go through the course to see if that stands. But you can't charge somebody with manslaughter. I think that's going to get overturned in appeal.
Probably will, but I mean, yeah, it's. I mean,
But
but we've reached that precedent
well,
now.
we've also been teaching our kids, you know, something that was not taught to us when we were kids. When I was a kid, I was taught words don't matter. You know, that kid called you a name.
Stones.
Who cares? That has, you know, that's his problem. It's not your problem. So now we tell kids though that words do matter, and the worst thing that can happen is you offend somebody else. But when you say that, then the worst thing that you can see to happen to you is that you get offended, because it's the worst thing you're doing. They tell you do to other people. So obviously, when it happens to you, it's bad. And when you know, so they don't know how to take criticism, unconstructive criticism, or even constructive criticism. But you know, when I was a kid, I got called all kinds of names. I let it roll off me. It didn't matter. One week I was popular. One week everybody hated me for some stupid reason. It was school. It sucked. But it doesn't seem like kids today are raised in a manner in which they can handle that.
Yeah. It's, I don't know, people are, you know.
Kids are
Yeah.
people.
Kids are people who are weird, or people.
Should just still beat our kids.
I want to pick the next topic, queer.
Which one?
Quah! Let's do something with a video, Dougie.
The only thing we have with the video is
The fear what you not
what
see.
you not
There we go. Do it. Do it. Do
This
it.
guy trained his lady friend's dog to Nazi salute.
Oh my god, I'm so excited.
And now he is denying that it was a hate crime. It was just to piss his girlfriend off.
Who
Because
doesn't?
she thinks her dog is so perfect. But here's the video. We do not own this video. It belongs to Count Dankula.
Is it a German Shepherd?
You want gas the juice? Do you want gas the juice? Come on, gas the juice. Come on, gas the juice, son. Come on. Do you want gas the juice? Do you want gas the juice? Do you want gas the juice? Gas the juice? Juice. It's time to get up now, Buddha. It's time to get up. Do I gas the juice?
Ausgekühlt wurde von dem leichten Zeug, das sie einzufinden begann. Heute müssen wir selbst...
Sieg heil! Sieg heil! Sieg heil! Sieg heil! Gas the juice? Gas the juice? Do I gas the Jews? Bitte. Do I gas the Jews? Come on, gas the Jews, mate. Come on, gas the Jews. Gas the Jews. Sieg Heil. Sieg Heil. Sieg Heil. Sieg Heil. Sieg Heil. Who's a good wee Nazi? What, gas the Jews? Gas the Jews? Gas the Jews? Gas the Jews. I'm not racist, by the way. I just really wanted to piss her off. Jews.
Well, like, did you...
Pretty sure we'll get flagged
There's
for
people
showing
saying-
that, because we get flagged for showing everything. But, wow. That was champ status.
That was adorable.
Sieg Heil.
Fucking.
so wrong, though.
That's so beautiful.
wrong.
Now, is what makes it wrong his accent?
With the dogs?
Yeah.
I mean,
Or that it was a...
does he
Chinese
only? I mean,
dog.
it's wrong they taught him to throw the paw up when he says Sieg Heil.
He probably just gave him treats while he said it.
Yeah, and the
Until-
dog begs. But
Yeah.
Should I
is there
teach
any
him how to
other
do
word
that?
that makes him do it?
Yeah.
I mean, I would need to know.
Yeah?
Yeah. You should. Videotape it.
I think I will. Like,
I mean-
Barnaby, Z. Kyle, and he'll be like, oh.
And they'll punch you.
So, some Chinese tourists were arrested in Germany for taking some pictures while giving the salute. Das salute.
Now,
I bet they didn't know.
and
Oh, they were giving the salute.
how arrogant are the Germans to think that they're the only ones that ever used the straight arm salute? I think that was like half the armies of the world used that.
Hoorah.
They're going to arrest people for doing something that almost any Roman of the Common Era.
I think it was because it was at Reichstag, which is...
Oh.
So RT.com did an article on this story, and there's a warning offensive next to the link for the video that we just
Oh yeah,
watched.
YouTube's
Yeah.
doing that a lot now.
Yeah.
And they also put out.
Are you 18?
Well, they also put out that they're going to bury basically anything they consider fake news behind. So the first thing that's going to pop up if you put in a topic that they don't want you reading,
Like,
they're
not
going to
covered by
pop up
reason.
every video that speaks counter to your topic point, and you're going to have to go through 500 of those before you can get to your video.
That's fucking
Anything that they
bullshit.
determine to be hate speech. So they're not censoring you;
So
they're just
us.
making it harder to get to content that
I
they
mean,
consider hate speech.
We can be pretty hateful.
I hope. I hope it's us. Bad publicity is better than no publicity.
Yeah, fuck yeah! Yeah!
I'm gonna get this tattooed on me.
I mean, it's not completely
queer.
related, but from the Nazi aspect, it's related. There's a company, a clothing company, that I just read about that wanted to rebrand the swastika
Yes.
for gay pride.
Mhm.
So it's a rainbow-colored swastika because they're taking it back.
Yeah.
And I
They can think of something else.
mean, I was
They already have the
flabbergasted.
rainbow. They can't have the swastika too.
Yeah, I think somebody better out there could
And
probably
they've already
bring
got
the
the letters.
swastika back, but I don't know if everybody's down with a rainbow-colored
LGBTQ.
swastika just at this point.
They've got a good chunk of the alphabet now.
Is there a Z?
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet.
There will be an X.
2018.
For xenophobe!
I'm keeping Z. Nobody gets Z.
I've had too much coffee. I've got to piss again.
It's your turn to pick a topic too.
Well, keep talking Nazis.
Yeah.
I don't know, but how long does a symbol have to go before it can be, before it can be redeemed?
It depends on how many people were killed
So it's like 1 year per person, or because that's going to be a long.
I'd say
long time.
every 6 months per person. So
half that
so
time.
2 a year, yeah.
I think everybody by then will have forgotten there were people called Nazis in that amount of time.
Right.
That's about the right amount of time.
When we all live on Mars, because the Earth is blown up, we'll forget about Nazis.
Why
and
don't we
Mongolians.
hate Volkswagen Bugs just as much?
Haven't you ever played the Slug Bug game? I think they do.
Because, that was directly to fulfill a Hitler campaign promise, was why they manufactured Volkswagen Bugs.
That's adorable.
So,
I did not know that.
shouldn't we all hate Volkswagen as much as we hate the swastika or that dorky Charlie Chaplin mustache? Have you noticed nobody wears that anymore?
I know.
Nobody.
I do from time to time when I shave.
It's, you just shave and see what it looks like and shave it off.
No, he's wore it here a few times.
Oh, okay.
But when he wears it, it looks more like a pedophile and less like Hitler.
I also like to let my soul patch get really big, so I keep the little mustache with the soul patch, and then I pucker up, and it looks like a hairy asshole.
I mean, Hitler so thoroughly ruined that mustache. When kids watch Charlie Chaplin movies, they're like, "What is that? Like a dancing Hitler?"
Yeah,
and
right.
Like, come on, he
I
was.
didn't know Hitler did
was
the
first.
movies.
Come on.
There's somebody's still rocking it. I think his name's Sean King. It's got it going on.
That's not a Hitler.
Close.
That's just I can't grow it all the way.
But I gotta try. Have to try.
Yeah, this is my badass mustache, guys. Haven't shaved in 3 weeks.
Now, is he part black?
He said he was, but apparently he is not.
Liar!
Lies!
Liar!
Lies!
I don't know. I mean, come on now. We all know that this is fluid, and how you identify is how you identify.
First door on the left. In the hallway, yeah. No, just in the hallway.
Because we are now in the time that they're going to brand as the make-believe era. And so when you identify as black, you are black. It's just the way you are.
The unicorn era.
You didn't choose it. You didn't pick it. That's just how you identify.
True.
I identify as a refrigerator, but also a toaster oven. So I'm a microwave toaster oven.
A non-heterosexual.
Yeah, no. I only fuck other refrigerator toaster ovens.
It's pretty good. At least you're not like a bathtub and a toaster oven, because that
don't mix.
They don't mix at all. You're going to have a violent life.
Everybody I love dies.
In a bathtub. Oh, am I picking a topic?
Sure.
Yeah.
Fuck. I think we should skip the we're not going to protest tonight.
Okay.
We'll skip that one because it's not really all that worth talking about.
So,
what do you want? Nah, what's up?
Apparently, a member of Sean King's family said in an interview that both of his parents were white. Womp, womp, womp.
But, like, deep.
He thinks he has a secret father.
Yeah, the milkman.
Yeah. Like, that was his explanation of that, is that his dad isn't his dad.
I'm a 46 black, yo.
So he's calling his mom a whore.
Yeah.
Why not?
Sounds about right.
She's a nice lady. She gives a good reach around.
Identifies. No,
and we
it's not there.
Army of Fun too. Okay. It's not really worth talking about. So I want to talk about Model Citizen, this 20-year-old British model who was supposedly kidnapped. I say supposedly kidnapped by a gang of Italians who were going to auction her off for sex slavery.
Nice.
They supposedly let her go when they found out she was a mother. Now, I say that supposedly because she was also seen in public shopping with these gentlemen. She also today decided to cope with it by doing a topless shoot. So, but she's made big news because supposedly she was kidnapped and they were going to auction her off.
She hot?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Can I see the picture of her
Was
topless?
there like an eBay site set up?
PayPal. It's Darknet.
Oh, dude, crazy stuff happens on the darknet. Like,
oh yeah.
You want
how
to say
exactly do you get on the darknet?
Nice.
Got to buy a Tor program.
Nice. You don't even got it. You download the Onion router and...
You should probably download a Tor program, though, on a fresh laptop that's never connected to the internet prior to.
Right.
But, I mean, if you want to risk it, yeah.
Yeah.
But if you're going to be watching beheading videos of crazy people in the Middle East, you probably don't want to risk your computer being
say
able
that
to
she-
be traced. I don't do that, though.
Was assaulted and drugged with ketamine, dumped in a car trunk, and driven to a remote farm where she was kept prisoner for 6 days by a man who said he was part of a gang called Black Death.
Okay.
She told Italian police that she was kept handcuffed to a wooden dresser in a bedroom until she was released on July 17th and taken to the British consulate. Hey, you faggot. Whoa. Sorry. This guy has since been arrested. But yeah, people are questioning her story. Because they say that she's lying. What do you think?
Does she have I mean, not that it proves anything, but does she have ketamine in her system?
Well, this was
What if she just liked ketamine?
last month.
No, as I said, it doesn't prove anything, but at least I mean...
Models love ketamine.
I mean, how did she know she was giving ketamine if they didn't test her unless she was... and this was my point. I want to do some ketamine with this model. That's what I'm taking from this story is what was going on.
She digs the ketamine?
Yeah, she digs the ketamine. She did a bunch of ketamine with some Italian boys. And then she thought she was kidnapped because you know how those Italian boys joke around.
Yeah. Yeah. That's how they joke. Guido joke.
They're like, jack me off or handcuff you.
They said they were going to auction her off for sex trade if they didn't receive $300,000 in return. But then they let her go when they found out she was a minor.
So they're auctioning her off for $300,000 when you can get most, black market girls for way less than that. So they obviously knew who she was. So they researched enough to know that she's a model and that she might be worth money. You're going to want to look up her net interest when you do, or what she's worth at that time. But you don't look down the next line where it says spouse and children, because it's usually right there under Wikipedia. You just go, it's you got occupation.
See if she has got a Wikipedia page.
But she's not that famous. Why go through the process of kidnapping and asking $300,000?
Oh, you got it. This fucking guy. He's hired.
She's pretty fucking hot. What is the lie? That she is a mom or that she was kidnapped?
That she was kidnapped.
Because she don't look like a mom to me. If you know what I mean.
She ain't even big enough for a Wikipedia.
Fuck.
Yeah.
She is for my dick.
From her news
and they're asking $300,000. She's lying. Nobody's paying $300,000.
She's like, I'm super hot. They said they'd pay.
She is hot.
But
the only entry into Wikipedia for her is the story about her being drugged and kidnapped.
It still counts.
So this is
and that's what they're saying is that possibly this was a
publicity stunt. That's what's up.
Gots to be. I mean, nobody would pay $300,000 for a no-named actress or a no-name model.
Well, if it was like for keeps,
if you were big enough to demand a $300,000 ransom, you're big enough to research and know that there's a damn kid. So the whole story doesn't make sense, and you don't give your kidnapped victims ketamine.
Dude's trying to give her a good time, keep her calm.
That's my ketamine. They can't have the ketamine. I mean, chloroform is probably cheaper. I don't know.
I think she was setting this up to extort her agent. That's my theory. Because they were trying to get $300,000 in cryptocurrency from the agent.
Oh, well, that makes sense. If it was fucking Bitcoin, that's... Like,
and then when it didn't happen, they're all like, okay, it didn't happen, go home.
30 Bitcoins.
Yeah.
But now that they already tried to extort the agent, she has to go through and say it's still a kidnapping, even though it didn't work.
Well, she even says that they told her that they would kill her if they made the kidnapping public. And that one of them had claimed to have made over 15 million euros just that year in kidnapping.
Is there a lot of kidnapping going on in Europe?
Oh,
Haven't you seen Taken?
Haven't you seen Hostel?
Friggin' a lot of kidnapping happens in Europe and friggin' Mexico.
Oh, yeah.
Like I knew about it down
if
south
you
of
go
the
to
border.
Mexico,
It's
you better
famous for
expect
it,
to
but
be kidnapped.
You're saying you go to Mexico, just make sure you kind of stay
It's part of
close
the-
to the resort.
it's-
What happens in Mexico stays in Mexico.
'Cause you
it's
stay-
buried
because you're
in the fucking
you're
desert.
not going anywhere.
Or Aruba.
Oh,
Too soon? I find it great that that guy ended up going to prison
for something.
years later for something very simple. For killing a chick in his hotel room.
Who did that?
The guy who they suspected of kidnapping and murdering Natalie Holloway.
Oh.
Didn't we talk about him on here?
I don't remember.
It's almost been a year.
Almost has.
How's that make you feel?
Think we're getting old.
Well, fuck you. You're fired. Anyways, what's next?
Is that me or him?
Kevin, I think it's me. All right.
I'm done talking about this bitch.
I picked the Eclipse one, so
Yeah,
I think it's your
you're
turn.
next.
Oh.
You're next. No, you're next.
Oh, I'm next.
Yeah.
It's come full circle.
That's politics, bitch.
Oh shit. Really, the only thing I want to talk about with this is, for one, I want to mention the fact that the SLC, the Salt Lake City mayor, went undercover as a homeless man this last week for undercover boss. No, but he really did. And then 11 California counties have more registered voters than eligible adults. So voter fraud might be a thing. And there's some shit going on between us, as in the U.S., and North Korea right now. They said that we would be stupid to not be afraid of them. And then Trump says any slight provocation of nuclear threat will result in them getting
F'd in the A.
F'd in the A. So what do you guys think of this?
Which one do you want to start with?
All of it. Pick one. You pick the topic.
Well, since the one that's like kind of just more blatant and new is the North Korea one, yeah, let's not try to escalate. I mean, yeah, we make fun of North Korea each time they have a failed missile test or whatever, but each time they do it, they learn. And they get better.
It didn't take us long.
It did not take us long. Okay, so, and according to our intelligence, I guess this was released today, our intelligence thinks that they actually do have a missile capable of hitting the west coast of the United States.
Yeah.
I've actually been hearing reported they believe that with the new last missile test, that they're capable of hitting New York.
Well, it
Like, they
depends
can go
on the trajectory.
Yeah, they can actually go across the United States now and hit the other side.
Now, but to be fair, though, this
In
is also
30
the
minutes.
same intelligence that
Yeah.
got us into the Iraq War for the wrong
Right.
reason.
Right. For
So,
the weapons of
mass destruction that weren't there.
right? Well, they were there at
They
one
were.
point because we
They
sold
shipped-
them to them.
Well, not only that, they were there when I remember watching the news feed right before all that of all the Russian trucks driving weapons up into Syria out of Iraq. They showed it right before we went in. We went in and invaded them. They had all those missiles taken out,
Well, it was
or
yeah,
the
it was,
canister. It was
but
basically.
it was the main one was nuclear stuff, and they never found anything.
So, do you think that this
Just
shit
saying
would go
that-
down?
I'm just saying we don't. It's already. I mean, we don't need a North Korea with a freaking crazy dictator with nuclear weapons, but it looks like we're headed that way.
There's-
Far forward
What do we
Well-
have?
Well, it'd only take one.
No, but I mean, like, we have a crazy motherfucker in charge of nuclear weapons.
yeah.
We need James Franco.
I'm just saying, maybe you want to keep your family close tonight in the next couple of days. Maybe a good history lesson is the whole Cuban Missile Crisis.
Now,
I recommend the Kevin Costner movie.
How
13
nuclear
Days.
capable?
Not. They could possibly. I mean, they've detonated nukes, and they're decently strong enough to do some damage in a U.S. city. They're not going to probably wipe out a U.S. city with their nukes, but just the fact that they can hit us with them
is a game changer.
And it's one of those things where you can't really tolerate it. Not with these particular people. Russia was never crazy enough to launch a nuke, and we knew it. Neither side wanted to.
Well,
this guy wants to launch a nuke. He's diehard set on launching a nuke.
I remember when I was a kid towards the end of the Cold War, and we were still doing the whole dive under our desk thing. If the
duck and cover, children, duck or cover.
Do you trust your leader, your supreme leader, with a nuclear weapon?
Fuck no.
No, I'm asking Cody particularly.
That answer is fuck no.
Come on, Cody.
I trust Donald Trump with nuclear weapons as much as I trust pretty much any president in my lifetime.
Is that a no?
It's a. Do I have a choice but to trust him? I mean,
I don't trust my government.
What am I gonna do?
Yeah.
So
you're not gonna stop it.
I don't not trust him, but I mean,
he won't be the first one to do anything.
Yeah, I don't have any reasonable belief that Donald Trump has any intentions or wants to launch a nuclear weapon.
You don't have any?
Yeah, I don't think he has any intentions or desires, and it's not even something that he thinks about on a daily basis.
It's something he's mentioned several times.
When asked.
Just powerful.
When asked. He didn't bring it up. He was always asked, and it was always kind of one of those gotcha, because anybody that says, he just said what everybody else was thinking.
Today he didn't say
you can't have nukes and say you're never going to use them, is what he said.
Right,
it has to be on the table.
Today he did not say nuclear.
It has to be on the table.
Right. But he didn't say nuclear weapon. It got taken that way by all the press outlets.
So here's it is verbatim. So it says, North Korea best not make any more threats to the United States. They will be what?
Best not.
Best not. They will be met with fire and the fury like the world has never seen. He has been very threatening beyond normal statements, and I said they will be met with fire and fury and frankly power like of which the world has never seen before.
Are these their tweets?
No, this was the actual. It was on
a
press conference. But
I guess you could take
that
as Nico. That sounds to me like he's talking about pulverizing them, but
yeah, it does sound like he's planning on pulverizing them. But
sounds like hyperbole.
Really, you got to think. How big is North Korea? Google that shit. How big, like space-wise, is North Korea?
Way too that big.
Way too small to be.
We're fucking up a lot of shit.
Well.
Not just North Korea.
I mean, here's the thing.
I believe it's still under the same doctrine as it was even during the Cold War, but if you guys remember mutually assured destruction or MAD, basically if one country launches, we all do.
I'm kind of upset that they sent him a photograph of himself during the last missile test. They sent Kim Jong-un a photo of him standing on the platform, his observation platform, during that missile test. And there's a clear signal saying, hey, we knew you were there. We were watching you. This could have been a Tomahawk. And I'm a little upset that they sent the photo instead of just sending the Tomahawk.
Right.
And just be done with it. Just be done with it.
There's a reason why you don't, like you want to absolutely make sure that if you want to use military force, you use it swiftly and correctly, because Seoul, South Korea, is within artillery striking distance from the demilitarized zone.
Yeah.
So is China.
But here's the thing in North Korea.
They go after China.
Here's the thing in North Korea.
Korea,
right?
Kim Jong-un does not rule because his people love him. He does not rule. Even in the political class, they don't love him. They're terrified of the man. You take him out of the equation, there's not going to be a massive war with South Korea to defend the honor of Kim Jong-un. He has no no children old enough or capable of taking over the regime. The regime change would have to happen at that point. It wouldn't stay in the Kim, Kim.
But if it came
family.
but if it came from a cruise missile or a strike from the United States, it wouldn't be seen as that. It would be seen as a direct attack against North Korea, and they would retaliate.
Possibly.
I mean, technically, that war never
I think
ended. It's a ceasefire.
I think there would be mass confusion at first. Their military wouldn't have known. They wouldn't have an immediate response for his assassination attempt, except for who cracks the first beer. There's going to be somebody that knows he's in charge when and everybody.
I actually hope you're right, but I don't think you are.
Like China could settle this in that manner if they wanted to, and get it done.
I mean, the state of Florida is bigger than North Korea.
I mean, so basically, we could take it out with one Trident missile.
Yeah, we wouldn't have to get into nukes, but no matter what, if we get into a war with them, there's going to be 1 million dead on both sides in the first day of that war, because of how much artillery from Seoul is pointed at North Korea and how much artillery from North Korea is pointed at Seoul.
30,000 troops stationed there?
Probably, if not more.
But if they want to send a clear message to Kim Jong Un that they're not playing around with him anymore, they should send all the non-essentials from the base in Seoul and send them home. That'd be any military commander.
But that would be a clear escalation too.
Oh, it's definitely an escalation, but it shows Kim Jong Un is still blustering at this point. I think he still thinks he's dealing with words.
That's why I recommend our president, if you are watching this by chance, President Trump,
always,
or anyone watching, watch the movie 13 Days. It's a totally underrated Kevin Costner movie, but it is so worth it. It's about the Cuban Missile Crisis.
And then watch 127 hours.
About the armed dude.
About
Aaron Ralston. Aaron Ralston. No, but yeah, 13 Days, and it's a good little recap of the Cuban Missile Crisis.
So now, this thing, there's been this investigation going on that Trump called for into voter fraud. And they aren't finding shit in this investigation across the country. Like even in California, 11 California counties have more registered voters than eligible adult voters. How does this happen?
Because the reason you have no evidence or prosecution and history of prosecution of voter fraud in a lot of places is because they don't prosecute it. Therefore, you won't have a history of it. Therefore, it doesn't exist, and nobody cared to really look into it. There's no motivation there to do so.
Oh, I have another explanation.
Yes.
It actually, this was brought up before, and what it actually is too is sometimes when a person dies, their family members or the people next to
register.
Not register them, but there's like the dead person still registered it on the voter rolls.
And they mail the ballot.
They didn't tell the voter thing, and then in the extreme cases is actually send in their ballot, So,
well, it's not only that. I've seen ICE agents get on, do interviews and stuff where they've said, I personally have arrested hundreds of illegal immigrants in our country that have voter registration cards. So they do vote. It does happen.
Here is a couple things I have. One, a lot of people argue he won. Why is he still going through with this investigation? But he didn't win the public vote. He won the electoral vote.
Yeah.
Two, a Supreme Court judge has ruled that they have all the rights to collect voter information. And just recently, they got all of our voter information here.
Here in Colorado, they did.
Is that dangerous?
I think
so. It's public records. You can go in and get the same records if you want. The only thing they're asking for that you can't get is the last 4 digits of the voter's social security number.
And what they voted.
And they want to, and who they voted for.
But could that potentially be dangerous if he plans on rerunning? Could he use that information to his advantage?
I could totally see it.
Hillary would. Hillary fucking would.
Absolutely, any politician
that
would.
That C word in a biscuit would have. Cunt in a biscuit.
It would be a failed strategy for him. I don't think it would help him that much.
Cunt.
All the election is a flash shot of where the country stood at that moment in time.
Yeah.
And it's different than 5 months before or 5 weeks before. It's different the week before sometimes than is the week after. So it'd be a failed strategy for him to try to use that as voter, popular research, saying I know who people are voting for, and use that strategically.
We've seen this in history, though, that people knocked off the voting rolls that thought they could vote could actually swing an election. Just look at 2000.
Well, yeah, it only takes a few people in every precinct. If it was a fraudulent vote, a few in every precinct.
There was a shit ton of votes not even recounted before they called it in 2000,
But it does that 2000 was another case where it didn't matter that all the public votes weren't in. All the electoral votes
were in.
Well, because they had to be. They were running against the clock.
Here's the thing. If you do not know what the electoral college system is and how it was set up, go fucking educate yourself. Because your public vote doesn't matter when it comes to a president.
Because
it doesn't.
It does to the point where you're electing the delegates that go and vote
right,
for who
but
it
those
is.
delegates don't have to necessarily
this was just
vote in your
out.
favor. Only a few states make it to where.
Well, absolutely, but
a voter in Wyoming has 9 times the voting power because of the electoral college than a person that living in California.
Right, because of the way it's spread.
Because of the way it's spread out.
Right,
has 9 times the voting power.
Right. Do you vote in both states?
No, I vote here. I can't vote in Wyoming.
They won't let you vote there?
No.
Did they ban you from voting there?
Well, yeah. Any felon. This is one of only, I think, 2 states that felons aren't allowed to vote once they're done with their sentences.
The other one's Florida.
Well, Florida doesn't want anybody voting.
So yeah, no, I vote up here.
To be fair,
but
I
do actually live here, so I just work in Wyoming.
I think if you paid your debt to society, you should get your right to vote back.
I think full restoration of rights once you're paid.
Hell yeah.
You can't legally own a gun.
No, I'd say if you're willing to trust them enough to let them out of prison and off supervision, you trust them enough to have a gun. Like they didn't stop become citizens.
But that's fucked up that they don't know.
Yeah.
But in Colorado,
I think in Colorado they get upset about me for having my bow. So Colorado's stringent with that.
Now you can apply for a writ.
Yeah, it's very rarely granted to anybody. Like you have to have like a miraculous story and like public opinion on your side before a governor is going to pardon you. In Colorado, anyway.
Now,
Wyoming, on certain things, they just send you a restoration of your rights. You don't have to apply for them or anything.
There is about to be a convicted felon here in the state running for office. I think that's awesome. Let him.
Yeah.
Which office?
I think he's running for mayor.
If you're going to pass more federal laws than you can count.
If he served his time and paid the price for his crime and he's paid his debt to society, let him.
Right. Now,
but I bet the negative ads against him, though, are just going to be relentless.
We should exonerate previous felons for crimes that have been deferred down in the law. Like weed, where it's changed to where it's recreationally illegal.
Proactive, change your criminal history. California did that.
Non-violent.
California did that a few years back, and Colorado was kicking it around, and that would have taken... All my crimes are nonviolent. They're all... I possessed mushrooms or I possessed marijuana, like, in more quantities than they thought was appropriate.
Right.
That's it.
Keywords.
Yeah. Like, it was swag, man. I need 2 pounds. It's swag. But, whatever. I would have, if they would have adopted that, I would no longer be a felon today. I would have my gun rights back. I would have my full rights as a citizen back. Could get public assisted housing. A lot of people don't know. Felons can't get that.
No. There's a lot
no
of
low income housing.
Why should they be punished?
They can't get Airbnb.
Can't drive trucks with hazardous material.
Yeah. Why do they have to be punished after already being punished for serving time? With serving time.
And felon is such a broad category. Like, you just get seen as felon for possession of those. But there's people who fucking raped and murdered children who
and it's all lumped them into the same thing.
I think it's bullshit that you even have to if you've been on job applications that you have to, if you've been convicted of a crime, you have to put it on there.
Yeah.
I think
Even a
bullshit.
misdemeanor if they ask.
Yeah, if it's even a misdemeanor. I mean, also to be fair, I don't think unless you do something horrible at your job or get hurt or hurt someone, you should get drug tested.
And I agree.
You fucking cunt.
It's ridiculous what kind of power we give businesses over people. Privacy is being treated more and more like a luxury instead of a right.
Whatever happened to the Fourth Amendment?
I don't know.
Oh, and it actually creates a huge problem. I mean, a lot of the gang problems we have is because people get out of prison. Where are they going to go to get
Because they
income?
can't. They don't have an opportunity.
They got families to feed. I guarantee every person getting out of prison thinks he's going to turn his life around and do better this time when he's walking out that door. And every damn time he gets out in the world, and it's like, oh, you can work at McDonald's for $7.15 an hour, and that's not even going to pay rent for a one-bedroom apartment. You're definitely not going to get enough to where the social worker is going to let you have visiting time with your kid, outside of, a park or a neutral spot. So it's like, but who will help you get the money you need? The same gang that protected you on the inside. And what's the worst that happens if you get caught? You get arrested and then you get sent to prison and you're hanging with your gang on the inside. But nobody walking out of prison says that's what they want to do when they're walking out.
Right.
Like, this is their big chance, their chance to turn their life around. So forgiveness needs to be a much larger part of our judicial system. But that comes with changing the attitudes of the country, and that's hard to do. I mean, you get on Facebook and I constantly have to defend people on Facebook that are horrible people sometimes, because everybody jumps to that person should be just executed and be done away with. It's like commonly said on the internet. I'm like, okay, hold on here.
Hold on a sec.
Like, you're getting way ahead of yourselves.
Well, it's like we brought up earlier with zero tolerance at school. Yeah. It should be case by case.
Yeah, everything should be case by case. I don't believe in minimum sentencing laws.
Mandatory
minimum. Like, that's a horrible thing. I mean, prosecutors use that as a whip like you wouldn't believe. I give you the sweet plea deal, you tell me no, and you face the mandatory minimum. When if you lose, and it's a big gamble. A lot of people plead guilty whether they're guilty or not, because you losing trial, you're going 8 years in prison, and they just said you can walk out of jail today and start taking care of your kids. You just have to tell them you're promised to plead guilty.
Yeah, the whole plea deal thing's going messed up too. Anyway, how about a lighter subject?
What you got?
So I just wanted to make a point about the whole getting out of prison and working for McDonald's deal. So, like right now in Colorado, the minimum wage is $9.30 an hour, which after taxes is probably $1,100 or $1,200 a month. I mean, get a roommate and a small 2-bedroom, and you each are going to be paying about $400 a month. The whole reason that I wanted to make this comment was because I've seen a meme going around about talking about minimum wage and not being able to afford housing. And really the numbers that they're using are talking about like a 1-bedroom, basically luxury apartment that they can't afford. And it's like, hey man, if you're not making very much money, just get a roommate.
Oh, I know which meme you're talking about. Yeah. I've seen it, and it definitely over-exaggerates the cost of housing for sure.
The numbers aren't right.
But I mean, it still doesn't change the fact you're not feeding your family and taking care of putting shelter over their heads on a McDonald's job. It's not designed for that.
Yeah, absolutely not.
And felons, a lot of these felons get out. They have families. They need to take care. They need money to take care of those families. And that's usually what drives you to going back into the gang or selling drugs or whatever. It's not that you wanted to make money. You're greedy. It's I need these. I got to take care of my bills. I have to.
I got bills.
My family life is now falling apart. It was worse for me, for my family, because I'm out of prison. Because when I was in prison, at least they got welfare, they got food stamps. The government's taking care of them. I get out of prison now. I have to do all this, and they're not. They get cut off of benefits because I'm living in the house now. It'd be better off for my whole family if I just went back to prison.
I don't know how the family would
had
to be a roommate.
Oh, I only did 7 months in jail. I've never done prison. My nephew did prison. Like, I've known a lot of people that have been in prison. And a lot of this just comes with a lot of the stuff that I believe on, how being a felon has limited me in life. greatly. I mean, I could have probably done a lot more things that I would have rather done with my life if it wasn't for that felony. And it's the worst thing about the war on drugs is, like, the natural consequences of the drugs were never the problem. I was always, I could go to work if I smoke weed. I don't do it at work,
Yeah, literally the only thing you got was you had it on you.
Yeah, it was the consequences that
the most dangerous thing about it was you had it on you.
Yeah, man-made consequences were more harsh and
than reality.
So what you were trying to save me from by making it illegal in the first place? Like,
he's updating the board. There's a couple things we're taking off for time's sake.
Because we're running out of time. Because we're getting in deep, man. In deep.
So whose topic is it, though?
It is...
Mine?
Yep.
Yashua!
15 minutes of shame. I want to talk about,
oh, fuck.
Usher.
So we've got 15 minutes of shame.
What did Usher do?
Usher is being sued by some people for allegedly exposing them to herpes.
Get the herpes.
Without warning them. Now we've got a few things to talk about.
If he warned them, they wouldn't have done it.
Right.
I totally see this from Usher's point of view.
So, Usher supposedly has herpes. And he is spreading it like wildfire without letting people know.
Dude, I would bang him with herpes. You see that guy?
Yeah.
Usher? I'm sure
Usher!
Now makes me wonder, does Justin Bieber have herpes?
I believe it.
Probably, because he banged Usher.
I'm pretty
That's
sure
how
he
got
did.
Into the industry. He had to do some things.
So, we have I'm going to go over the list of what we have for 15 minutes of shame. Rolling Stones guitarist Ronnie Wood wasn't surprised by his lung cancer diagnosis. Rapper Young Mazzy shot and killed in Atlanta. Usher sued for herpes. Man accused of urinating on family during Metallica concert.
Ooh.
And Malia Obama had to be carted off at Lollapalooza because she was too fucked up.
Nice. How old's that one?
I don't even know.
It's just like 12, 13, 15.
I think they were both like adults now, aren't
How old
they?
is Malia?
Or like upper teens.
19-year-old.
Yeah.
She's 19. But yeah,
Good for her.
supposedly she was super fucked up at Lollapalooza, and she had to be carted off. There is video footage through TMZ. We will not show it because we do not want to get flagged. But check this out. She didn't have Secret Service around, obviously.
Oh no, they could. She could have definitely had Secret Service around, and they would have let her drink herself into oblivion.
That's probably true.
Like, their job isn't to babysit you. Their job is to make sure other people aren't killing you. There's got to be a delicate relationship. You got to think there's got to be a delicate relationship there between bodyguard and
Now, I think she was just high on the energy that the killers brought to the stage.
That could very well be.
Or ketamine.
Yeah, probably.
I'm just saying, good for her. I mean, go live a little bit.
She probably couldn't do shit.
Piss your dad off a little bit. Get in some headlines.
She was seen smoking marijuana.
Oh my goodness.
Of course, her dad spent his first 3 weeks out of office hanging out with fucking Richard Branson. Like,
yeah,
come on.
It's not very surprising. Her dad wrote a whole chapter in his book about the drugs he did in college. I mean, she's in college. Dad understands. It's acceptable.
Now, then there was this gentleman who stood up and began urinating on a family during a Metallica show at the University of Phoenix Stadium. He urinated on a man, a woman, and a 10-year-old girl during a Metallica show.
So that is an official dick move.
Yeah.
You can make it to the bathroom, dude.
He does not look like he should have been at a Metallica show in the first place. So.
Whoa.
What?
You guys creepy as fuck.
But just so you know, it's not acceptable to urinate on a family at a
Metallica
concert.
Yeah,
if anything, he should have peed on Lars.
Yeah, you save that for Nickelback. You don't do that at Metallica.
Yeah, you just don't do it at Metallica. You should get a full headshot if you can, because you really got to capture the hair.
Or the R&B guy, R. Kelly. You can probably do that at his shows perfectly.
It's probably
acceptable.
encouraged.
Well, at a sex cult.
You know, but not at a Metallica show. No, that's inappropriate.
Was he riding the lightning?
At an Usher show.
For
It's
sure.
okay to give herpes.
It's better than getting herpes.
And giving.
Now, what do you think about that? Do you think he has the herpes?
Sure.
I think that if he's being sued, we're all going to find out.
It's true.
Because his lawsuit hinges on that detail. If he doesn't have herpes, these people are all going to have some more phone calls to make. And then
this isn't the first time he's been accused of it. In fact, he once paid $1.1 million in 2012
Yep, he's got
to
it.
settle a lawsuit with a former lover, a celebrity stylist, who said she had contracted herpes from having unprotected sex with him.
Yeah, he's got it.
Yeah.
You don't give $1 million away when you don't have herpes.
Now, I know people who have had this kind of shit happen to them.
Herpes?
Well, yeah, get herpes from someone who had it, who knew they had it, but didn't tell them.
What a fuck.
And, that's life-changing fucking thing right there.
You get herpes.
Herpes is the one you can't get rid of. Well, there's a couple others. But, how about young Mazzy? I don't know his name. He has collaborated with big-name artists such as Rich Homie Quan and Young Thug.
Who?
Big-name artists.
Are they?
I don't know the rap scene.
He has survived 11 shootings.
But number 12 got him?
Number 12 got him.
Brat!
Look at this picture of this guy.
He kind of looks gay as fuck.
Yeah, he looks like a zombie. It's kind of scary.
Zombie.
Young Mazzy.
Does he play, he looks like he plays point guard for the Bulls.
Rest in peace, Young Mazzy.
Rest in peace.
And then Glenn Campbell, y'all.
Passed away.
Glenn Campbell passed away
Who's
at
going?
the ripe age of
Where?
That's a good age.
R.I.P. Glenn Campbell. How about the guitarist of that one place, the Rolling Stones, saying that he got lung cancer and he was not surprised.
Well, did he go to the hospital? Oh, I mean, he wasn't just not surprised by the diagnosis. He just wasn't surprised that he's contracted
He wasn't
it in the
surprised that
first
he
place.
got it. He's like been chain smoking for 50 years.
Well, I mean, how old is he now?
Fucking old, man. I don't know. Let me check.
Well, at least he didn't kill him young.
Let me see. He is old. They don't say how old he is. 70-year-old.
70?
He's 70.
So I'm guessing like one of the main reasons we know smoking can kill you is because we started living long enough to know that smoking can kill you.
I am pretty sure, though, Keith Richards still smokes. Probably. Mick Jagger probably still smokes. Or at least the robotic variations of them.
Dude, my uncle lived until he was 85, and he was diagnosed with lung cancer at like 79. Still smoked every day until his fucking death.
That's a good age. I mean...
Yeah, I mean, you're really not going to do much more in life after 95.
Yeah. That's not bad. Cancer only gets a week. I'm just kidding. That was a bad joke.
Horrible joke.
John McCain would not approve.
Well, he's weak.
He is, and cancer's going to get him.
Fucking A.
The POW camp didn't get him, but cancer will. Oh.
I think we'll go ahead and skip the opiate for the masses, because we all know that heroin kills.
Fentanyl or carfentanil.
We went through Model Citizen. What else did we go through?
Stuff and things.
We went through 15 Minutes of Shame. We'll go ahead and skip Suck Out the Poison.
Aw.
Want to do seeds and stems?
Yeah, we can do seeds and stems. So, American Green, a American marijuana company, has purchased the town of Nipton, California, the whole town, for $5 million, and is going to turn the town into a pot paradise.
Well, it's about time somebody did it, and hopefully Colorado does it, so I don't have to go to California.
I don't see Colorado doing it.
No.
Although I was impressed when they turned a few prisons into grows, but
our weed's better. It should be us.
Why? Because it's Rocky Mountain High.
What are you doing?
Exactly.
Looking at jokes.
And we just grow better weed here. I mean,
Queer.
I wonder if the feds are going to intervene if it's an entire town.
I think Colorado grows the best weed in the world.
Yeah.
Amsterdam ain't got shit on us.
So we got 10 to 11 cap.
Canada just wishes. In California, posers.
Yeah, this shit's ditch
But
weed.
there's the second best.
Rocky Mountain.
I thought like Oregon probably had like
Oregon's got
second best.
I have had some dank out of Medford before. This shit's killer.
Oregon does have great weed. I will say so.
Portland.
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 Which I'm excited because I will. That's why we're not broadcasting next week, because that's where I'm going.
Hopefully Josh is okay next week. It's not, hopefully not in that Mormon sex cult.
Oh, fuck him.
Because dollar bills,
Because he's a
y'all.
faggot.
I'll come back next week.
Now, there has been more talk of the feds coming in after weed.
Fuck
And
that.
one thing that Colorado has done has made it to where, at the touch of a button, all of their recreational shops and the weed supplies registered under it will instantly be turned into medical. At the push of a button. What that does is it makes it to where the feds cannot touch it, because the feds cannot touch medical marijuana anymore. So, they're
But
preparing.
Do we sacrifice all the rec shops to turn medical, then just switch back to rec?
Well,
If they go medical, do they have to stay medical?
They have to stay medical until the crackdown stops, I guess.
I don't know. I see a lot of resistance.
They did these crackdowns in California under Obama. It didn't work. It went nowhere in the courts.
And so Obama backed out.
Yeah, and the thing is you can't make Colorado enforce it. Federally, yeah, it's still illegal. The most that the feds can do to Colorado is say you don't have the authority to regulate it because it's federally illegal. But what they can't do is say that the state has to have a law making it illegal, which we no longer do have. And if they can't prosecute it, they can't prosecute. The federal court cannot take up every prosecution of marijuana in the state of Colorado. They can't. There's a reason why they there's a reason why they co-opted the states in the first place. The federal government doesn't have the resources to do that. They don't have enough federal courts to do that. They don't have enough federal officers in Colorado to do that. And that's what it would take. So they might be able to knock on the door of a few shops and run them through court, but what they can't do is make Colorado participate.
Right.
And that in itself means it's not going forward. And the upper courts will block the Department of Justice on it quicker than
the
shit.
Supreme Court already blocked all of our neighboring states, saying you can't pull over a person from Colorado just because they're from Colorado.
They still do.
Oh yeah, they do. What they do now is they drive in front of you, they hit their brakes, and then they pull back around you and say you were following them too close.
Oh yeah.
Like they got their tactics for making it a legal pullover, and they do target. It's bullshit. But they have been losing in some cases with judges saying that the probable cause to search the vehicle because it smelled like weed. Weed is becoming less and less probable cause to search a vehicle.
And it's up to the states by state level, but Arizona has ruled it, Nevada has ruled it, and Colorado has ruled it. And I think Utah.
That it's no longer probable?
Right.
Like they had to retrain all the dogs in Oregon. And here. Yeah, because they could not be trained to smell marijuana, and you have to prove in a courtroom that they don't hit on marijuana if it comes up. Like that dog would not go to the weed; it'd only go to the bag with the meth or the bag with the coke, and it'd ignore the weed.
Dogs on meth.
Makes me wonder what they did with all the old dogs, because they're not exactly the nicest, most friendly puppies in the world. Police dogs.
You ever watched Release the Hounds on Netflix?
No.
Watch it.
So like Fox and the Hounds?
Yep.
You guys ever watch that live PD show on A&E?
Yeah, it's not as good as Cops. I firmly am a big supporter of the show Cops, even though I hate cops. I love the show. And I think there should be a channel dedicated to 24-hour cops.
I don't know, but I know that in jail everybody watched Cops, so it was like one of the most ironic things I've ever seen in my life, because you got cops watching inmates watching cops arresting cops watching criminals watching cops arrest criminals is the situation you find yourself in jail every now and again, and it's stupid.
It's got to be awkward when you are seen on there in jail.
Like,
when we see how your whole arrest went down.
After you've been telling everybody the story of your arrest, like you know, those cops took 10 of them, pulled me down. Turns out, like, you tripped because your pants fell down. Dog bit you in the ass. You cried for your mom.
Trivia question for y'all: where did Cops start?
Fred Durst.
Yes.
That is exactly what I was going to say. I was going to say Limp Bizkit, Ohio.
Bad boys, bad boys.
Are you looking it up?
Memphis.
I know where it started.
It's probably Texas.
Nope.
Probably California.
Nope.
Probably Portland.
Yep.
Boom! Weirdo Organizers. Organizers.
Portland, because they had entertaining arrests, man. It's a fucking weird place.
Put a bird on it.
Well,
if you like it, then you better put a bird
I would have
on
also thought maybe Seattle, because, I mean... Like,
why not Detroit?
I think Seattle...
Well, because Seattle's famous for people running away just to become homeless heroin addicts on their streets. It's kind of weird.
Same as Portland.
Yeah, like... So you're going to come across some people with some bizarre behavior like crazy in those two places.
We've got to start wrapping this up.
Yeah.
Can we do Melt the Snowflake?
We can do Melt the Snowflake.
So
we'll finish it up.
I have a really awesome thing.
Skip
So
the
you
rest.
guys go first.
Okay.
Like I said,
yeah,
this will be a
yours is going to
walk-off.
be the best. All right, this guy wants to go first. Fred Durst has been thinking of a lot of really original jokes. But
he doesn't have any.
No. So I had to go onto Google.
Hey, what's more dumb than a box of rocks?
Fred Durst?
The hippie that carries it across the country.
What's the similarities between a Jew and a stiff nipple? They both disappear in a hot shower.
Oh.
Nice.
Thank you.
That was pretty bad.
How can you tell if a hippie chick is on the rag? She's only got one sock on. She's got to be careful. She can get toxic sock syndrome.
Trying to think.
Go ahead.
Hippie joke.
What's the difference between an apple and a dead baby? I don't ejaculate on an apple before I eat it.
So bad.
It's true, though.
Yeah. So a man walks into a bar and he sees a sign. Hand jobs, $5. Cheese sandwich, $2. He walks over to the bartender, a big-boobed blonde, and asks, "Are you the one giving out the hand jobs?" She says, "Why, yes, I am," smiling and sticking out her chest. "Okay," he said. "Now go wash your hands and make me a cheese sandwich."
So a blind man walks into a bar. He walks up to the bartenders and he gets his drink and says, "Hey, you girls want to hear a joke?" And they're like, "Yeah, we'd like to hear a joke." He's like, "So you like blonde jokes?" She's like, "Well, I'm blonde. The bartender's blonde. So do you really want to tell that joke?" And he said, "No, I don't want to have to tell it twice."
Ooh, that's good. What do you call an Ethiopian woman with a yeast infection?
Quarter pounder with cheese.
Yes, sir. What do you got?
All right. Well, this is my walk-off.
All right, I got another one then.
Right.
We'll save yours for last. Why is a laundromat a really bad place to pick up a woman? Because a woman who can't afford a washing machine will never be able to support you. I'm looking for a sugar mom.
Why can't women ever pick a place to eat? Because the last time they picked something to eat, it went bad for all of humanity.
Nah.
Ooh,
Dark Christian joke.
What is red and hangs from trees? Monkey miscarriages.
Oh, that's pretty bad.
So a Jew and a fag go to heaven. St. Peter tells the Jew, we're so full, so you can go back, but only if you promise to stop being cheap. Then he tells the fag the same thing, but only if you promise to stop thinking about gay sex. They go back up, but then the Jew sees a penny on the floor, tries to pick it up, and they both die.
What's the only enlightening kind of church? A burning one!
Ah! Fire! Fire! Fire!
Oh. I don't know if I want to say that one.
Do it! Don't be a puss bag.
What's the best part about raping a 12-year-old? Killing her afterwards.
Ah.
I've always heard it was wiping the blood on her teddy bear. Or how do you make a 12-year-old cry twice? You wipe the blood on her teddy bear when you're done.
How do you make a... What is it? How do you make a 10-year-old cry twice? You take the clown suit off?
Yeah.
Oh.
What did the cannibal do after he dumped his girlfriend? He wiped his ass.
Some good shit. What has 8 balls and rapes Mexicans? The lottery.
How many hands does Helen Keller need to masturbate?
Many.
2. 1 to rub her clit and 1 to moan. You got one, Shred?
A joke?
Yeah.
No, the snowflake.
Women's rights?
Oh! Alright, that leads to my joke, sorry. What is the difference between a feminist and a suicide vest?
People would rather hang out with a suicide vest?
When triggered, the suicide vest does something.
Oh. Triggered. That was really good.
I
like it. Yours works pretty well too.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
When triggered, the suicide
I was
vest.
gonna see if I had any more, but I don't know if I do.
What do you mean? You're a wealth of naughty jokes.
But alright, how do you stop a dog from humping your leg? Pick him up and give him a blowjob.
Good night, everyone.
On that note, I'd like to thank our guests for joining us tonight. Kevin Pollock, Kevin Weather, the Weather Pollock.
Weather the weather. That's my nickname, huh? Weather the weather.
Yep. It's what it's been. Last couple times you've been on. You just didn't know.
Do not look totally at the solar eclipse without proper protection, or your retinas will melt.
Do not. Do you got anything to say before we cut this off, Mr. Vance?
Don't listen to him. They used to tell me the same thing about the TV. Nothing's going to happen.
Sun's a little bit more powerful than a TV.
I don't know. Have you watched Golden Girls? The
Oh,
TV's
that
pretty
Blanche?
goddamn
Oh.
powerful. Right here. Touches you. Love you, Blanche. Yo, you gonna thank Fred Durst for coming and co-hosting?
Yeah, thank you, Fred Durst, for coming.
Word!
Thank you, Cody, for producing tonight. I appreciate that.
Got it, buddy.
You know, you can get us almost every Tuesday. I say that because we won't be back next week, but we will be back the week after. Yeah, you can catch us on YouTube on those Tuesdays. You can get on Twitter.
Yeah.
Twitter.com/NGBR podcast. Hit that plug button on there. That plug button. Yeah. Right there, yep. You can also get us on Google Play, iTunes, Stitcher Radio, Pocket Cast, Player FM, and so much more. Facebook.com/NotGovernedByReason. And fucking A. Yeah, thank you guys for joining us. We love your face.